And if you do, you usually pay the price. And they raffled it there. Adelaide Philthorpe getting an easy goal to start off with. Now he's pushed straight into the centre square.
Can't hurt you, can't it? You go forward, you should have kicked your own goal, and then all of a sudden your defence setup isn't right, and you're down net two.
Philthorpe with a bit of work in the middle and wins the first possession as well. Crows work it out in the wing. Hinge comes wide with the kick. Finds Rochelle. Of course, dropped for the final game last year. Down to the SANFL. Be hoping for a big bounce back here. Long-term deal with the Crows. Goes down to half forward, close to the boundary line. 40 sees it out.
All reports he's handled it very well, getting dropped. He's knocked 20 seconds off his 2K time trial. That is not easy to do. You have to do that through hard work. And it takes a lot of mindset. So see if that can convert into more possessions and more goals.
Yeah, he would have learned some lessons last year. He's a really good player. Set himself up, obviously, with the pre-season.
Boyd straight into the shoulder. Hand pass away to Neil Bullen, the new guy in town, as he kicks goalward but misses. Behind a lifelong Crows fan, perhaps, maybe minus the stage of his life where he's spending Melbourne colours and won a premiership, but you pick up what I'm putting down. Obviously, went to footy park as a kid and watched the Crows. And he gets to wear the jumper in his childhood.
See if they can move the ball here, St Kilda.
It's Jack McRae also in his new colours. Comes out wide with the kick and a good mark. Keen.
This bloke's been a terrific pickup for Adelaide. He's just grown. Jordan Butts can't get into the side.
Marshall just putting his hand up, boys. That's not good.
Oh, ugly kick to centre half forward. Rankin makes it look smooth. Hand pass to Hinge. Can't trap it. McRae another play on it. To Webster. Gets it out of defence, but they can't clear halfway. And plays so well set up. Worrell with the intercept mark.
Yeah, he read it really well there, Worrell. Much better than his St Kilda counterpart.
Miller up. Drafted 10 years ago, reaches 100 games today. To Murray, Crouch, and now Keane gets another go inside the attacking arc. Awkward half-volley pick up for Walker. Got it out to Shoal. Long kick in the Fogarty direction. Philthorpe also down there. No mark. Pete Lean trickles away to the behind line. Still live. Rochelle. Clever. Sets up. Coming on the line. And the new Crows got a goal. It is all Adelaide.
Well,
Rochelle's a star soccer player in his junior years. I think he might have been in the Australian side or the squad as an under-16. That pickup from Tex Walker at the age of 34 to 35, that's hard to do at 24, let alone 34.
Yeah, there's an issue here for Harry Boyd. He's just run out of puff. I think he's just got to be better than that, putting some pressure on that ball.
What does Ross Lyon do here?
Well, with the 6-6-6, you can't do too much at the centre bounce, but what you can do is push players behind the ball as quick as you can, but that does make it harder to score as well. At the moment, they're not getting flogged in the clearances. It's only 6-4. Inside 50s are 8-3, but the disposals are 48-29, so they've got to get their hands on the ball more, and then when they get it, they've got to keep hold of it.
Couldn't have started much better for the Crows. And Philthorpe still keeping it going forward to his mate Rankin. Handball to Neil Bullen. Shakes the tackle. Can he get in on the party? His kick goes wide.
And I think that's the issue, Rube. Quite clearly, the energy, the work rate for the Saints is good. It's probably just as good as the Crows, and yet just under pressure, they haven't been able to maintain their skill level and maintain possession of the footy.
Well, just to back that up, Adelaide are kicking at 69%, which is just about the AFL average. St Kilda 47.
Yeah.
Wood in front, can't complete the mark. Slick hands from Crouch and Cordy. Feeds it out further wide. The kick from O'Connell down to half forward is good. Marshall sets up Garcia. Caught. Great tackle. Saligo awake to it and locks him up.
Yeah, blindsided there.
Saligo looks like he's ready to take his game to another level as well.
Rankin to Walker. No marks. Slaps it forward. It's Wanganeen Malira. Handball away to Hasty. Now the kick comes wide. O'Brien. Hands to it. Wood. Over the top of it. Keys now involved for the Crows. Got it to Murray. To Neil Bullen and back feed to hand pass to Saligo. Inside to forward Archie. Walker had a fair pace of it. Ball hits the deck. Marshall to Hasty and Jones can rebound for the Saints. Out the back flank. O'Connell on debut. to Wilson. Back to O'Connell. He's mowed down. And the Saints just can't get it out of their back half at the moment. Worrell to Laird. And the Crows get a chance to reload.
There's a combination of the Crows' pressure, but also indecision from the Saints by both hand and foot.
There's Benny Keys, a joint B&F winner last year. Sharing the jacket with Jordan Dawson as he heads down to half forward, and Wilkie takes the intercept mark.
Such a good
Great
player,
intercept
Wilkie.
mark. Great player, as you said, Root.
He's going to have a big day today with an undermanned defence. He's going to have to do what he just did there and try and get some intercept grabs.
Couldn't have started much better for Matty Nixon. For Ross Lyon, not at all how he would have drawn it up. Conceding the first 4 goals on the road. The contest kick to half forward, and Wood stands in front of the pack. Nice mark. Now a chance to edge forward. Hill reads it best. Taken down by Keys. Hunt says keep going. Caminiti hand pass inside the forward 50. Trying to wrestle free from Keane. Close to the boundary line. Caminiti trying to keep it alive, and Keane gets a favourable bounce. The Crows work it out. Neil Bullen. Back on the inside to Hinge. Hand pass to Neil Bullen through his legs. Scrappy footy. Now Windhager with a clean kick inside 50, and the Crows set up again. Coming near the set mark. And this is where they really go. O'Brien sends it to the wing. Kick a little too much on it.
Clever.
Saints win it back. Shoemaker with a clever little tap away to Messiah. Now out to O'Connell. Young man from Ireland on debut from County Cork. He goes short to Wilson.
I think we should see a lot more of the tap on. Players take the ball, they get tackled, and they can't release it. And I think we're going to see more and more of it as clubs realise how potent it can be. There was a really smart tap to Wanganeen Nillera.
Windhager not confident with the trip. He kicks in the Higgins direction, getting back Murray. Nice touch on it, knocks it away to Crouch. Still a chance for Higgins, collects on half forward. Hand pass to Jones, looks into the pocket, and Hall works his way to the front, takes the mark. And Max Hall, the 22-year-old mid-season recruit last year, has a chance for his first goal in the big time.
He had a chance earlier to kick his goal, so he's had a couple of shots at it, putting himself in the right spot. The grandstand here, the Riverbank stand, should shelter that breeze that is going from right to left, so I wouldn't be giving away the goals, maybe just a fraction inside that right post.
The cattle farmer from the Yarra Valley, Max Hall, his kick is near side. He's got the Saints' whole score.
On the wrong side of the goalpost there with his aiming. At least he's getting the ball in his hands. That's a good start.
Worrell with a booming kick out of the fence, and Philthorpe has it landed his lap.
Yeah, not the cleanest mark he'll take today, I would have thought.
Sends his kick down to half forward, and Dawson gets away from Jones. Clean build up this for the Crows. Long kick into the forward 50. Rochelle has it knocked away from him. Webster does well. Spin move for Rochelle. Hand pass to Fogarty. Fogarty can walk it in. Totally in rhythm, Adelaide.
Look, if you can take marks out on the wing area, I mean, Philthorpe, as we said, wasn't the cleanest mark he took, but when you start taking those grabs in that part of the ground from a long kick in from your back line, it really opens up your forward line. Jordan Dawson, who took that mark as well up the ground, he is one of the best contested marks, probably the best contested mark of anyone in the Crows side, so St Kilda going to have to keep an eye on that as well, but Rochelle done a couple of nice things early.
Yeah, it was a great handball from Rochelle. He's had a good start to the game. I've been impressed with the forward pressure of the Crows too. Last year they were ranked in the bottom quarter of the operation, the AFL, averaging under 4 intercept marks per quarter. They've already taken 6, and it's setting them up for a big first quarter.
Played 5 games Fogarty last year alongside Walker and Philthorpe, and he was goalless twice. We've got a couple already today.
Harry Boyd in the ruck for St Kilda, done a lot in Adelaide, couple of best and fairest, the McGarry medal, best on ground in the grand final. Couldn't have done much more and deserves his chance in the ruck for St Kilda today.
So Brian, who wins this hit out though, it comes down to Dawson. Crouch Puts his head over it. McRae got it out. Higgins away to Jones. Kicks to centre half forward for the Saints. Free kick for a hole. It's going to Saints by advantage applied. And this will be their first goal. Hall's third kick, but his first goal in AFL footy.
Well, it makes a difference when you get a centre bounce clearance. There's another good kicking, another good entry from Jones. But this is a free kick paid against, and then advantage was paid. It's made it pretty easy.
Was holding on to him at the start, then it was just a bit clumsy overall, so could have gone either way, but they paid it, and Maxwell, third shot on goal. What a start by him. Yeah, great start by Maxwell. 3 shots on goal. That's his first one through the big sticks, but great start for him.
3 debutants today alongside Harry Boyd and Liam O'Connell. Cattle farmer from the Yarra Valley. Mid-season recruit last year, gets the Saints first of the young season. 22 years of age, Max Hall. Here's Boyd, another mature age pickup, but the Crows again out of the middle. Crouch to 1-2, feeds his skipper in Dawson. Kicks to half forward and full hit it up.
How good is this bloke looking?
Turns and looks for his deeper forwards. Rochelle down there and good mark, O'Connell.
That's a great intercept mark from the Irishman. First game of footy, clean, courageous. He's a really good pickup for the Saints long term.
Out of County Cork. His kick out of defence, not a good one. Turnover. Salee goes onto it, puts it back to the top of the goal square. Winger named Malira. Mop it up at the back. He's got to put on the Jets. Trying to burn off Philthorpe. Kick down to half forward for the Crows, though. Picked up again, led to Dawson. Philthorpe again. Too big, too strong. Stands in front of Hasty.
Just going to go back and just suck him in. He's done a lot of work. He just needs to go back and compose himself and think about kicking this goal. Certainly within range. Got the wind at his back. The wind's also going from right to left, so just needs to put it slightly inside the right post and let the wind do the work here.
Another front half turnover caused by pressure on the Saints. Kick goes to ground. Mopped up by Jordan Dawson.
And a very good goal kicking action, Riley Philthorpe.
He's got one already. Philthorpe's drop punt is good. He's now got a couple. It's a feeding frenzy for the Crows.
In good form early, Rude. Called a couple.
Yeah, he's kicked 2 straight. We've got Fogarty as well, 2 straight there for Adelaide. So the big forwards are getting the job done, but the ball's been coming down pretty well for them. St Kilda are going to continue to put the pressure on through the middle part of the ground, otherwise they're going to struggle to go with a player of Riley Philthorpe's size, especially when you've got Jordan Dawson kicking the ball in there.
Yep.
You can see the difference in size. First 16 weeks last year, Riley Philthorpe, he was ripping the pre-season to bits and then did his knee in the last trial game. Had to have his cartilage sewn back together for long-term health. Could have taken a shorter-term option, but they want to look after him for long-term, and he got back in the latter part of the year.
Steele off his backside, got it out to Jones, and now Rankin. The gamer he is, the 1-2 with Michael Lanny. And sends his kick out wide to Scholl. They get it in open play. They've been so clean and not on cue. The commentator's curse as that kick doesn't quite get the Saligo. O'Connell's locked up in a big tackle by Hinge. Sean Burgoyne, the 400 gamer on the boundary. Sean.
Yeah, it's relatively clear down here that the Crows are putting on the pressure and then turning the ball over and then spreading a lot quicker than St Kilda. So if St Kilda can absorb the pressure and then get another stoppage, get some numbers around it, they'll prevent the breakaway from the Crows because stoppages are relatively even.
Another chance inside the forward 50. Rochelle had it, lost it. Windhager wins it for the Saints. Now Schoenmaker. Got its way through to Wilson. It's not clean. Boyd held up by O'Brien.
Really good attack on the ball by Windhager. Went in lowest, picked it up, lost the ball, got it back and whipped out an overhead handball.
Slick hands. Well, the Crows, Saligo against the boundary line, down to half forward, and Sinclair.
Great stuff by Sinclair. That would have been on Darcy Fogarty's chest if he didn't cut in front of the big fella.
Ordinarily a good user, and he goes long against the boundary line. Wood has the mark broken up. Murray with the score. Couldn't have been much better from the Crows, Jared, to start this game.
No, they've been sharp, really impressive. Big expectations. I'm not sure what the internal expectations are in Adelaide, the football club that is, but from the outside they look stacked as a team, and finals would only be the first of the accepted outcomes. Maybe should be looking at big finals wins.
Crows with 8 forward half intercepts already. Their best of last season was 10 in any quarter. It's a kick from Murray from the 45 finds Laird.
Yeah, Laird looks like he's going to play more in the back half this year as a dual All-Australian as a defender, an intercepting defender as well. So see how that goes.
Kane puts his teammate under the pump. Saints thought they were going to win it back, and Burns a little eager on the tackle from Michael Annie.
They've been far from perfect, Adelaide, in this first quarter. They've given St Kilda a few opportunities. They just haven't been good enough to take them at the moment. So not out of it, Saints fans.
Michael Annie to Dawson. Spills down to Steele, his opposing captain, and Wanganeen Malira races away with it for the Saints. Kick comes wide, and Burns can't trap it.
I like Wanganeen Miller is now getting some strength and some confidence. He's did a fend off there. I saw him in the game against Port Adelaide, threw someone around as well. So just starting to get a bit more confidence in his body.
Hot start by the home team. Boyd doing most of the rucking. Peatling. His bootlaces away to Laird. Kick smothered. It's McRae. He's tackled. Got it out to Higgins. Very sharp hands at Burns. To Windhager. Big tackle O'Brien. Keys to Saligo. Here go the Crows in close. Coming. Hooks a kick down to half forward. Kind bounce for Rochelle. Hand pass left a little to be desired. And O'Connell gives it to Hasty. His kick a turnover. Hinge onto it. Hand pass to Neil Bullen. Gets it back to Hinge. Turns. Shoots goal but misses.
They've been sloppy at times, Adelaide.
Yeah, they have.
They should be further in front. And look, it's only round one. So you're going to iron out your bugs a little bit, but they could well be further in front.
Saints also have been a bit sloppy in their back line. They've been under the heat, but their kicking efficiency and the handball efficiency in the back 50 has led to a number of goals.
Well, we are talking about the Adelaide who finished 15th and St Kilda who finished 12th last year. There's a lot of promise in the Adelaide side, but they haven't delivered yet, so that's why there's a few fumbles.
Michael Annie sends it back down to half forward for the Crows. He's Peatling. Burns goes and gets it to Boyd. Good hand pass. Releases Steele. Down to half forward for the Saints. And in the end, Keenan's helped out of bounds by Marshall. I mentioned their forward line earlier, Jared, so missing so many guys.
Yeah.
Owens, Butler, Henry really plays on the wing. King, Philippo, Sharman also lost a lot of guys from one area. You really haven't had a chance to have a look at it much, have they, that Saints forward 50?
No, it's a band-aid forward line, and all Saints fans would know that. They're looking for just finding positives until those guys come back. In particular, Philippo. I'm really looking forward to him developing into potentially an A-grader.
Saligo for the Crows, gives it to Cumming. The new guys have had a bit of it. Was that Cumming with a goal, the former giant, down to half forward, and Phil felt pretty happy to see it out with Cordy.
19 inside 50s to 7s. There's certainly been an Adelaide's forward line. They have got the wind at their back, and it's a reasonable breeze too. So Kilda fans, so you'll be kicking with it in the second quarter.
Windhager got it out to McRae. Former dog. Trickles out of bounds. Just on that, by the way, Jared, a bit of a bizarre stat this weekend with Jack McRae and Zane Cordy both playing in the game for St Kilda.
Yeah.
There are more premiership players from the 2016 Dogs team playing for St Kilda today than there was the Bulldogs last night.
Extraordinary. He hasn't forgotten how to find the ball, McRae.
You've had a quiet week, Colin.
Yeah.
Just Liberatore out there last night as the acting captain for the Dogs. Down to half forward, Hall knocks it away, then a little high tackle on Kane. I didn't spot that, so it says keep rolling. He's hinged, tackled, somehow got it out. Deft touch from Cumming, Laird. Pushes it in front of Peatling. Back forms around him. That gives him time to get it out. So McRae to Hasty. Now to Garcia, back to Hasty. Works his way through traffic. Sends the Saints inside the attacking arc. Hands on it from Worrell. No mark. Higgins at the drop where he should be as he snaps through the goal. Something out of nothing for the Saints.
Well, the game just seemed to go into third gear there for a few minutes. Even the umpires, I think, are cooked. They missed a couple in that same passage of play, particularly the one around the neck. But the Saints haven't been able to get any sort of possession without pressure. And they've just plucked one there, and Jack Higgins gets on the board. Nice work to come back with the flight of the ball by Rowan Marshall to create the spillage.
Leading goal kicker last year, Jack Higgins, and loves kicking a goal. Two smalls now, Max Hall and Jack Higgins kicking the goals for the Saints in the first quarter.
There's fanfare Roo that his last goal in the premiership season, of course, which broke Blues' hearts at the end of last year in the home and away season, and ultimately the Blues got there anyway, and we know the rest. As Garcia, quick kick to centre half forward. Worrell does well to get a kick out of the tackle, led to Michael Lanning. Comes wide with a kick to Shoal, one-hander.
Very talented young player, Lockie Shoal.
It's Jake Saligo. What a year he had last year. Long-term deal through to 2029 in line with his housemate Rochelle, and top 3 finish in the DNF.
That is a great mark in the box.
50 seconds to go.
Walker. A bit of pressure from Schoenmaker. He's good enough to mark it anyway. He rolls and immediately kicks it deep inside 50. Is there time for the Crows? Philthorpe hand on it. Falls through to Dawson. Got it out. Philthorpe back to Dawson. The skipper to hook it through. And the Crows answer straight back. They've had every answer in this opening team.
Well, it's a great performance by Tex Walker. I've always loved his skills, both sides of the body. Almost seems to have got himself fitter as he's got older. And his contribution looks like it's, again, going to be significant. But that's really good hands from the big bloke getting it out to Dawson. He's a pretty potent weapon to have sitting in that forward 50, Root.
I think they'd love to have 3 Jordan Dawsons. If you're in the coach's box, he's a brilliant half-back flanker, using the ball in arguably one of the most important positions on the ground. He's a great midfielder. We've seen that in the last couple of years, but I think you're seeing the emergence of him as a third tall forward as well. He's very good above his head. I've said how good he is contested, and we know how good a kick he is. So, yeah, I think Matty Nicks would like 3 of him.
5-4 to the Crows, centre bounce clearances at the moment.
And they should dominate the ruck, really.
Yeah.
Boyd is an undermanned ruck coming out of the SRNFL. Riley O'Brien needs to take advantage of it.
Looks it in behind here to Crouch. Michael Annie. They snuck one in before the quarter-time siren. Can they get 2 in as the kick goes wide and Hasty calms it down?
It's a good grab. Good player.
Fine steal. Back to McRae. He's been busy in his opening term in his new colours. Kicks inside the forward arc, but an intercept line. Keane.
When you lose so many players out of your forward line, like you mentioned before, Corbin, it's very hard to get the connection between your midfield and forward.
Well, they could not have started much better. What an opening quarter by Matthew Nix's Crows to start the 2025 campaign. 7 goals to 2. They've only had 1 better on record as an opening term against this opponent. It is a 30-point buffer to the home team. The Saints with a bit to do. They will kick with the breeze in the second term. Coming up next.
And welcome in, folks. Game day again today, and of course Adelaide taking on St Kilda here at the Adelaide Oval. Well, Adelaide toweling up St Kilda in that first quarter, 7-2-44. Saints 2-2-14. Adelaide's kicking straight. That's what you got to do. I'll tell you what, when you do that, you do put the score on the board, and it makes all the difference in the world. Adelaide just finding space around the ground, as I said, leaving St Kilda in their wake. But we'll see. Look, I'm expecting St Kilda to probably kick back, get a little bit of momentum in this game. I don't think it's going to be all Adelaide's way, the way we know Adelaide to play. Mark, how you going? Welcome in. Of course, Tina in the chat. ET was there as well, and the farm was there. Joey Flipper. St Kilda could come back. We're hoping. We want a close game. We want a good game. I think there's been a couple of big games, blowouts over the round one. So I would expect St Kilda just to come back. I think Adelaide have played reasonably well that first quarter. St Kilda just chasing their tails a little bit. So I would expect that. Only 5 goals down. We've seen bigger margins than that come back. So it's only the first quarter. Jordan Dawson is not only a good player, he kicks the leather off the pill. Absolutely. All right, let's just duck over. Let me just try and reload this. Make sure that's correct. Goal scorers. Thilthorpe and Fogarty, the only multiple goal scorers on the ground for Adelaide. On the ground for either team, both with 2. Dawson, there we go. There's your man, Jordan Dawson. He's kicked 1. Not too bad. He's had 9 disposals already. Isaac Cumming, Matty Crouch have kicked 1. And, of course, the only goal scorers for the Saints, Jack Higgins, Max Hall. Let's have a look at those disposal getters. Maybe Matty Crouch. He's a bit of a star, isn't he, Matt Crouch, there for the Adelaide Crows. He tops the table with 11. 3 kicks, liking his handballs with 8. 3 clearances. He's kicked a goal. No marks or tackles for him yet. Nice opening quarter. Same with Jack Saligo, 10 touches, 7 kicks, 3 handballs. There we go, 2 marks a tackle, 2 clearances. Doing well. Jack McRae there, best on for the Saints at the moment with 10. There's quite a few there. There's 5 there with double figures in the opening quarter, so they're having pretty good games so far. Just shows you it's a little bit nice and open. Mitch Hinge and Angus Hasty with 10. There we go. We'll have a look who's got the stats. Rory Laird, he's on 8. Isaac Ranke on 8. Thilthorpe with his 2 goals, 7 kicks, 7 disposals. You know, he's had 5 kicks for 2 goals. So he's doing really well there with 2 handballs, 3 marks, a tackle, 2 hitouts, and a clearance. He's doing it all. He's doing good, Riley Thilthorpe, so far. All right, let's just keep rolling down there. I was going to look for the big man if I can find him. I can't find him. Oh, there he is. Tex Taylor Walker. I want to see how the big man goes. He had a pretty good pre-season games when I watched. He's had 5 touches so far. Just the 1 kick, 4 handballs. Expect him to open up a little bit as well. Jack Hingis there, 5 disposals for his 1 goal. Who else we got down the board there? Worth mentioning. You might be able to see your stats. Jackie Sinclair just with a couple there for the Saints. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's just quickly have a glance at the stats. As it shows, Adelaide clearly on top. There we go. 27 plus already in the first quarter. 127 to 100. Getting a lot more of the ball. 14 more kicks, 13 more handballs. Look at that inside 50. 20 already. 20 inside 50s for the opening quarter. Wow-wee. For 9 scoring shots. 10 for the Saints for 4. Efficiency, not too bad there for the Crows as well. 72.5. That's pretty good. 68 for the Saints. They want to pick that up. Not too many free kicks. As I said, it's been pretty open. There's been a lot of open space out on the ground today. Only 2-1 in the free kick department. Not a great deal, is there? Hit-outs all pretty tied up with the clearances. Not too much there. All right, that'll do for that section at the moment. We can get back to that later. Let's get back down to the ground. Ryan, how you going, Squire? How you going? G'day. Tell you what, it's not overly warm here at the moment. 17 degrees. I'm tipping it's probably about the same in Adelaide as well. All right, let's get back down to the ground. They'll take us into the bounce of the ball for the second quarter, whereas the Crows by 30 points.
Caught from 4.5 intercepts, outstanding. And it was the big guys, Fogg and Thilthorpe kicking 2 each, and Taylor Walker having a hand in some as well. So it's something they really need to pay attention to, St Kilda, is how they control the ball off the back half. And Isaiah Wanganeen using the ball better coming out of half-back flank. But they do have to win this quarter, St Kilda.
Some of their better players, St Kilda, just need to get into the game. Bradley, who hasn't touched it yet. Sinclair's only had the 2 disposals. Marshall's only had the 3. Wilkie's only had the 3 as well. So some of their very best players in the lower end of their possessions.
I'm looking at our All-Australian here, Corbett.
Yep.
Declaring him early.
Okay.
A couple of goals. One was a gimme from Joe the Goose from Tex, but he gave a couple away as well. One to Jordan Dawson, but he's a brilliantly skilled monster who can go into the middle, We haven't seen one emerge for a fair period of time, but just keep your eye on this bloke. How exciting for footy and Crows fans that Philthorpe has emerged.
Still only 22 years of age. Second term underway. Crows with their hands on it first as Rankin feeds Crouch. It's the kick down to half forward. This is where Philthorpe works. Let's see if he's involved here. It's Pete Lean who gets a hand pass going back to Scholl. Sends a deeper entry inside 50. Clean bowls all of them. Out the back, Burns cleans it up for the Saints. Way to Wilkie. Goes short, not 15, said the umpire. And Windhager, who's calling the umpire now, says ball up.
Harry Boyd is doing the majority of the ruck. They're really taking it easy on Big Marshall. So Wally O'Brien should be able to get the better of that and give Adelaide first use of the ball.
This is a kid that the Saints need to get going, motoring into the forward line.
He's got another gear, Darcy Wilson, as he kicks down to half forward, and Keane just shoves Marshall out of the way. So playing mainly up front. He has been injured throughout the pre-season, a distress fracture in the pelvis. Rowan Marshall, we haven't seen him much, Jared, in the ruck at all.
No, clearly they're trying to, get the best option up forward, but probably trying to just nurse him a little bit, not having to do as many Ks as if you are in the ruck.
Adelaide by hand now, up over halfway, out of the reach of Millerer. Hall's locked up. And gives him time to release it, comes out. Clever, led. Now Curtin against the boundary line, another high pick from the Crows. Gives it to Walker, kicks in the Philthorpe direction, through his hands here, follows up his own footy, hand passes a turnover. Steele to Cordy and Sinclair, they're not out of dodge yet. Curtin knocks it back inside 50, another handball. Windhager puts Wilkie under the pump, he kicks wide. We'll get a chance to rebound again. Red to Michael Annie. Another second-generation footballer. Son of Jim from the Norwood champion. He kicks inside the forward 50 here, and a one-hander from Dawson.
That is an incredible mark. He mistimed his jump. He was all out of whack.
He's on the wrong leg.
To pluck a one-hander, you usually do need everything going right, and he had nothing going right and still pulled it in. That is a big grab. Have a look down here. See the jump, out of whack. A little bit of right to left.
Looks even better on the highlights with a goal to complement it. The skipper for the Crows, Jordan Dawson, into the post.
Well, that's about the first thing he's done wrong so far. It wasn't much wrong, just slightly askew. Got to get some more value from these kicks from Wanganeen Valera. Just hasn't quite hit the targets as we normally expect to see.
Wayne Millerer keeps it alive momentarily. Crouches hand pass out of bounds.
Wanganeen Miller kicking at 17% efficient. He's had the 6 kicks.
Stu Sinclair, runner-up in the BNF last year after taking out the top gong the 2 years previous. Rucks miss it here, Rankin onto it. Finds through the tackle, got a hand pass away. Peatling, head over the footy. Windhager steals it from him to Wilson. Hand pass away to Hall. Feeds a handball a little further forward to Higgins. Forward 50 opens up. Pulls his kick perfectly to Marshall.
Great play there by the Saints.
And he was down but further afield short. Wanganeen Valera's gone.
Yeah, there was an option there. I think it was for young Hall to do the 2-metre side handball, but he was smart enough to know what was in front of him, and he went the forward handball, 6 or 7 metres, which got the ball out of congestion. That was great play by the Saints.
That was their best ball movement for the day.
Jared, I'm down here and I could hear the players around the ball carrier. They're encouraging to run and take the game on instead of kicking it quickly. And then you get this result.
Right to left.
Messiah Wanganeen Valera.
This is the one you want to achieve.
Any trots, drop punt,
Beautiful.
He's good. And the perfect start to the second term for the Saints.
It's a delight to watch this bloke with the ball in hand. Hasn't had his best kicking performance early in the match, but that's the one he needed to nail, and he was good enough to do it. You can see him on the right-hand side there. He's charging into the forward line. He's working hard. No one's going with him, so he could even just trot into the forward line. But clever play there by the Saints.
Yeah, he is a superstar. To do what he's done in the first couple of years or first 3 years of his career is unbelievable. Good start by the Saints. Really clean in the stoppages. Made Adelaide fumble a few times, and if you can get the ball into Wangadeen Miller's hands, forward of centre, there's going to be a score of some sort.
5 South Australians on the list for the Saints. Messiah Wangadeen Malera. Crows, though, out of the middle. Crouch to Peatling. It's a high up and under. You heard the umpire. They'll keep rolling.
Gee, that's a free kick. Yeah, held the tackle too long. Took him out, Sinclair. Good call from the umpire.
The player he's become, Jack Sinclair, off the rookie list back in the day, comes wide, finds Burns. Back then, the restrictions on the rookies that he started his AFL career and had to drop back to the rookie list.
He's one player the Saints need to get into the game. He's only had just 4 touches.
Here's Higgins, chance in the pocket, shoots a hand pass to the boundary line, missed McRae. Do you like him up on the ball, Sinclair?
I do, but I like him across the half back line too. It's a bit like all good players. You want 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, he might be a bit underdone as well, so they probably don't want to flog him in round 1. A lot of players are cramping, you've seen, if they haven't had the perfect pre-season. It's been a struggle in the tough conditions.
Sinclair with that hammy mid-February, so it was a setback for him on the eve of the season as McRae. Hand pass to Windhager, trying to find a bit of room to get on his right peg. Ugly shot, bounces away. Now Marshall can't trap it. Peatling had it, lost it. Malera happy to watch it roll out of bounds.
Well, he's a master, McRae. Only 1 touch this term, and we just saw it. He got it from the stoppage and whipped it out. Should have been a shot at the goal, but just didn't quite nail it there, the Saints.
He pointed to it, Roo, the advantage with the breeze and the footy living at this end of the ground, the Cathedral Landers. Wilson gets a second goal at it. Quick hands away from the Saints, but picked off, and Crows able to bang it out of the defensive arc for the time being.
Good tap.
Time bounce, Webster. Down to Wangadeen Miller, and his kick goes wide and slides out of bounds.
Yeah, another incident or example of a player not taking the ball in his hands. He would have just been tackled, would have been a stoppage. He just flipped it over to his teammate going sideways, should have hit a player on the chest. Kick wasn't great, but the thought process to get the kick away was good.
Ruck Sherrod on the way down. Boundary line looms, and Scholl and Sinclair happy to see it out of play.
Keep working, Bryce. You're going well.
Just on that breeze, Sean, is it significant down there at ground level?
Yeah, it's picked up quite a bit to the end that St Kilda's kicking too. You can see the flags behind the goal blowing very heavily.
O'Brien knocks it down. Here's McRae. Chance for the Saints inside the attacking arc. Hand pass away to Wilson. His shot drifts across the goal face.
He'll be a great player. I think Darcy Wilson loves that. He covers the ground. Great skills. Just glides.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, umpire calls play on. He's already out of bounds there. Again, not 15.
Players just haven't adjusted yet.
Seems heavily policed, Jared, particularly in the defensive half.
Yeah, well, they've got to get used to it because I don't think you should be given too much leniency. If you kick the ball 12 metres and you've got prior opportunity, you should be pinged straight away.
Marshall rocking inside the forward 50. Is Miller to Peatling to Rankin. Sharp hands away to Crouch. He gives it to Saligo. Crows out. Now he's hurried up. Boyd locked up by Walker. Big ball and all tackle on the wing.
Yeah, good reading of the play there by Big Boyd.
He's a big boy too.
He's a big boy, this boy.
Originally from Shepparton, as Mark Rashido pointed out earlier, done all his fine work in the SANFL in recent years.
Well, they've been pleased with keeping the ball inside the forward 50 here, the Saints. They've had about 3 entries in a row. But they've got to be able to just get some scoreboard pressure going. There's the boot of Big Boyd.
Yeah.
Adelaide are pushing players into their back line, so even if they get it out, they're going to have to use the ball well for it not to come back in.
Brian pumps it down. McRae tries to knock it out. Rankin, so smooth and close, got a hand pass away. Laird can't trap it. Now Marshall knocks it to the boundary line. Hall to McRae. Good handball away to Garcia. Caught. Sinclair, clever tap away towards Hall. He gives a handball back to Wood. Wasn't quite able to one-touch it. Now picked up by Sinclair. He's scrubbing kick to the top of the goal square. And Caminiti bowled over. Gee, it's tough to get some free space in that forward 50.
Yeah, it's not a pretty game of football, and that's the way Ross loves it. But St Kilda's just got to get a goal out of this and get their confidence up and put Adelaide under pressure.
Next goal big in the context of the game. With St Kilda kicking with the breeze in this second term. That was touched off the boot. Goes out of bounds, so going to throw in half forward for the Saints.
Another tap on by the Saints, nearly set up a shot at goal.
Pushing very high up the ground here, the Adelaide forwards.
It's the one goal in the quarter so far. Ruck Sherrod on the way down. Windhager, hurried kick forward, drifts out of bounds.
Can Adelaide stretch the defence now of St Kilda?
This side of the post, Nick. Thanks.
24-year-old Nick Murray. His little brother Toby on the list, an emergency today. Emerging ruckman. Kick goes long to the wing. Cordy puts his fist through it. Into the lap of Rankin. Cruises through. Hand pass. Oh, into dispute. Fogarty bangs bodies with O'Connell. Clever. Sockers it into the path of Rankin. Great work. Sinclair wins it back. Handball to McRae. Swings a handball out wide. Missed. Schoenmaker and out of bounds.
So often it's Rankin who breaks the line when everybody's just pressed up and compressing the ground and he gets out the back. That time he had the footy, but he just couldn't quite find the exit tunnel.
I don't think the Adelaide coaches box will be happy with their ball skills today. They've been missing a lot of targets with when they're trying to run the ball out of defence.
Here's Jones in his 150th. Held up straight away. Milestone day as well for Jack McRae, so 250 games today. First 249, of course, all in red, blue and white. Windhager pushed off his kick. Saligo, who laid the tackle, wins the footy. Hand pass out to Rankin. Cruises through. Kicks deep inside the forward 50. Back peddling. Philthorpe. Hand on it and Wilkie knocks it away.
Yeah, good work by Philthorpe. There was a little fumble there from the Saints. Allowed the ball to get out. It was Rankin as usual. Breaking the lines.
Can Adelaide do something now with a forward 50 stoppage? Tex loves these.
Walker tries to get rid of Marshall. Got the footy out. Rankin keeps it in front of him. Now tackles Hasty. Hill. Handball to Marshall. Hasty. Off the deck. Taps it out. Sinclair to Windhager and ball up.
Brad Hill is the one that's just been, he just hasn't been on the screen. He's had one possession. He's one of the Saints' top enders. He's got to get involved.
It's McRae. Just a get out of here kick. Worrell moves some traffic aside. A 1-2 with Murray. Now Worrell can kick it deep inside the forward 50. Where are the flyers? Fogarty comes over the back. Rochelle clean spin move. Snaps over his shoulder and goals. Spectacular from Josh Rochelle.
Good on you, Josh. That's great to see, Ruth. He's a kid that copped it plenty of times last year. Some of it was self-inflicted, but he's just got himself fit, as you said. He's knuckled down, nose to the grindstone. It's amazing how many times you have a great pre-season, you have a great season.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Well done by Darcy Fogarty to bring it to the ground. And there's Rochelle. That's a very, very good goal. He's handballed two off to others today, so time to get one himself. Reminder celebration either, Josh. That was a good goal. And a much needed one for Adelaide just to settle down. St Kilda have been the better side in the second quarter so far.
You haven't workshopped any of those with him, Rue, over the off-season?
Leave that to him. He's just fine. Plenty of good players there to tell him. Isaac Rankin, none better.
Shallow bounce at the restart. McRae tracking it. Saligo put it into the path of Neil Bullen. This is Scholl. He's onto it for the Crows. Handball to Philthorpe, up in the middle of the ground. Kicks down to Neil Bullen, who keeps moving forward. Hand pass releases Saligo. Saligo on the run, shoots goalward. Fogarty's down there deep. Did he get it in time?
Not quite.
Yeah, I think Fogarty would be entitled to be disappointed with that kick. I reckon he was going for goal himself, not looking for Fogarty. It was always going to be about a 10%er for the goal.
Great kick. Risky, but good.
He read that really well. Still got him though.
Josiah gets around him. Good kick, finds Wilson.
It's great defence until it wasn't.
Crows win it back through the middle. Rochelle at the keys, keeps it going forward. Peatling, coat hangered. And now advantage play.
How long was that?
Hinge hand pass to a dangerous spot. Rochelle's back onto it. Handball goes back to Peatling. There's a full spin move. Loads up from 50, but misses.
Well, that was a little bit weird umpiring, but I think he just wanted to wait to see if it was favouring Adelaide or not. But you got to make a decision early or not. But still ended up with a ball and had a shot, Peatling, from 40 odd metres out and couldn't hit the target.
Last 10 years, only once a player has had 10 clearances in the first half, and that was Tom Rockcliffe. Big shout out to Tom, who I'm sure is watching on while there's another man about to join him in that elusive club. Jack McRae's had 9. He's still got half a quarter to play before half time. So Crows reload and Sean Maker snuffs it out.
A couple of poor entries by Riley Thilthorpe. Needs to think about his entries a bit more.
Burns puts on the Jets. Turns it over. They've done as well all day, the Crows. They've had St Kilda hemmed in. They've kept them in that front half, and the reload so well set up across halfway.
It was well read though, wasn't it? Mason Wood needs to do better there. Present up, but kid was under pressure. Give him an easy kick.
Malera tries to knock it away. Wilkie coughs it up under pressure. Shoulder, Neil ball and short kick to Walker. He takes the mark. And this is well and truly in his wheelhouse here at right half forward.
We're just talking about those intercept marks before. It's 11-5 in favour of Adelaide. Josh Worrell running past Tex. That was 1,000,000 to 1 for Tex to give it off to a halfback flanker to have a shot at goal from 40 metres out. But I like your thinking, Josh.
So 15 metres in the back line, the same as the 15 metres in the forward line?
Yep. There's a lot of rules in football, Jared, that don't make sense.
The all-time leading goal kicker in club history to extend that mark, +1. And the Crows lead swells.
What about holding the ball in the forward pocket compared to the back pocket, or insufficient intent in the forward line compared to the back line?
Well, it looked a good 10 or 12 metres, that kick. I'll grant it that. But nevertheless, I've always loved Tex Woods, I said earlier. His kicking is absolutely sublime on both sides of the body. Absolutely magnificent.
And Jared, I know you love your mowing strips to be horizontal to the ground so you can see how far the grass is, but the groundsmen here have really tricked you today. They've gone diagonally.
Psychedelic. What's going on? What are they drinking at half?
And it's even thinner in the pocket, so they're not helping you at all.
They got the kaleidoscope out when they're on the mower.
They've had a big week, the ground staff in Adelaide, as Boyd gets a hand pass away to Steele, kicks down to half forward.
I think they were preparing for the Shield final and they stuffed it up.
Come on, don't go there.
Not to be now at Adelaide Oval as the Crows win it back in the defensive 50, led to Cumming. Floats a kick out of defence. 3 Crows there. Peatling got it out to Keys. Tumbles a kick down the wing. Unkind bounce for Walker. Saligo releases Neil Bullen. Kicks down towards half forward. Backpedaling. Fogarty takes the mark.
Michele looking, he was hopeful. He had the hand out, the point out. It was just covered enough for the big fog to go, no, too risky.
It was the right call.
It was.
You only kick those if they're close to 100%.
Once upon a time, the early rounds, there was a little bit of rust, and yet, gee, they've been clean today, Adelaide. One touch. We saw it there again from Saligo. Put that play in motion. Big Darcy Fogarty to finish it off. He moves in, thumps it straight through. More of the same.
Yeah, I'm with you, Corbin. I've really liked them. I know if you're some on the commentary too, a bit half glass, half empty, but their skills for me have been absolutely terrific. It's the first game. It's windy. that's good transition of the footy into the wind. And they've got three of their tools are all great kicks. So it augurs well for an exciting season for this Crows outfit.
We're up to 6 now, Mark, in return for the big 3 collectively. So 3 for Fogarty, 2 for Riley Philthorpe and 1 for Walker. Best effort last year in the 5 games they played together was 8. I feel like that's in danger today.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Big Das in the leadership group, done a great job, really matured as a person and as a footballer over the last couple of years. So hopefully can maybe look towards 50 goals in a season.
Saligo getting busy, gets the clearance here. Well, we're getting in the leader with the intercept mark.
Yeah, it was good. They took 3 or 4 possessions to get the ball out of the centre, but the kick was not good enough and clearly intercepted.
Comes wide to Webster. Sends his kick to Caminiti in a one-on-one. Murray breaks it up. Hall at the drop on debut. Got it through, but straight to Crouch. Sweeping head pass, Neil Bullen amongst all those Saints. Somehow got it through. He's been pinned holding the ball.
Good pressure from the Saints. A little bit lucky with the free kick, but good pressure.
Push and shove. Taylor Walker and Jack Steele.
Too hot for that, boys.
Is Caminiti inside the attacking arc team?
I've loved Caminiti since his first game, but I just like he's got to get him. He's got to get better. He's seems to me like he's about the same as he was when I first saw him, and yet he's still making similar mistakes, not really improving. And that's the challenge for all young players. You've got to get better.
Yeah, especially you're going to be harder for him today with Max King out and Sharman and Owens out. He's actually the main man there with Rowan Marshall as the forward, so certainly need a big day out of him if they're going to kick a winning score.
Boyd and O'Brien wrestle for it. Dawson knocks it out. Here's Steele, the opposition skipper, gives it to his mate Sinclair. Good kick to Hall, and he traps it on his chest. Nice mark, the first gamer.
Well, he's been impressive, hasn't he? This will be his 4th shot at goal. I'm not sure if the kick was aimed for him, but nevertheless, he was smart enough to read it.
So he's been really active.
Yeah, he's been good. Good pick-up by the Saints mid-season last year.
22-year-old. If you can ping a mid-season draft pick when you're going through a bit of a rebuild, it just makes an extra little bit of difference.
Yeah, it certainly accelerates. When you think about the likes of Henry and Philippo, Sharman, Butler, Owens, King, there's lots of guys out, but it's an opportunity for these others to impress.
So 3 kicks, they've all been scores. His conversion is back level here. 2-2 from 4 kicks.
They also haven't got the 2 top draft picks, Travaglia and Taru as well, with pick 8 and 10. So you're talking about, top 10 picks there. They usually hit more of them than you miss. So a couple of good defenders to come back into the side when they're ready.
And looking at that replay from behind the goals, credit to Sinclair. He dead set had this young bloke all in his mind.
First with multiple goals today for the Saints, Max Hall, 22-year-old drafted out of Bronx Hill, cattle farmer from the Yarra Valley. 22 years of age, gets his first look at the big time.
Well, you know how hard they work.
Oh, yeah. His boy, great service down to Windhager, hand pass away to Steele, so a bit of go forward for the Saints. Kicks in a Marshall direction. Murray whacks it away. His ball is locked up straight away by Jones.
Gave him one too, Jones.
You can see Brad Hill there just on the inside of this stoppage. He has got to find a way to get into this game. Ross has got to find a way to get him into the game.
Steele spun around, gives it to Boyd, locked up straight away. And it comes to Windhager, off balance, shoots goalward. This is the whole set.
And if McElhaney, who we just saw with his arm around him, is running a hard tag on him, well, he's got to find some solution to that problem because he's one of their best players and he's having no impact. 1 possession nearly to half-time.
Big 5 minutes here before half-time for the Saints to hang in this game. The kick up to the wing, and there's Dawson again.
Their defence set up pretty well here, Saints.
If you're wondering whether he'd still be the elite version of himself in 2025, you've got your answer to half-time. Jordan Dawson has been heavily involved. Fogarty knocks it down in the crouch direction across the half-forward line.
And that's just what that little bit of pressure does. I think it was Wanganeen Miller. It made the turnover. It's just huge.
Wilson to Schoenmaker. Down to half-forward. Caminiti tried to knock it away. Wall the 1-2 with Laird. Now to Hinge. He comes wide with the kick. Murray pretty content to see it tumble out of play.
See that kick there from Mitch Hinge. When you kick and you don't come forward and you have any steps in your routine, it's a hard kick to execute, and you see he missed the target there. So as a player, as a kid, if you're watching, try and get on the move a little bit moving forward.
Had a light leg to knee on the track. Mitch Hinge, bit of groin soreness, didn't do the main session. Here's Wilson. Got it out to Steele, trying to break through the tackle. Peatling wins the footy to Rankin, and here they go to Crows for Shelley. An immediate bounce. Sends it down to Walker, familiar target. Wanganeen Malera goes to ground where he gathers. Back on his feet and back with the footy.
Sissy read it well again, Wanganeen Malera.
He's Hasty.
He's been good, Hasty. He's had plenty of the footy, up to 12 now.
Just his 6th game as the Saints working down to the half-forward line. Marshall backing into traffic. Here's Worrell in the back pocket for the Crows. A wrap around with Keane. Kick across the goal face and a good mark from Hinge. Makes it look pretty.
Lucky nailed that kick. There was no room for error.
Comes back out of the broadcast side and O'Brien.
Got a hole in one on the golf course a couple of weeks ago, Big Riley.
I saw that high handicap or two. I noticed he walked back into the club, still wearing his golf kit, and everyone was pretty happy to give him a warm round of applause for his efforts. There's Sinclair on the wing. Can the Saints get one before half-time and keep themselves live in this contest? There's a free for Boyd here. That'll help.
Been pretty good so far, Boyd. They're actually leading, winning the clearances 24-20. That's a big win for them today.
Adapts it short to Sinclair. He's going to lay it up. Looking for Marshall, and Worrell covers off well, punches it out of play.
It was unusual. Darcy Fogarty was allowed to get within about 4 metres of the kick. Looked like a 50-metre penalty. I'm not sure why he's allowed in that space.
Cross line with a bit to think about, arms crossed. Down it comes to McRae. Quick hand pass to Jones. Great smother. Hinge wins it back for the Crows, and Peatling kicks it out of defence. As Keys goes hunting out after it. He's got Webster for company. Little fumble from Wilson. Cleans it up. Back inside the attacking arc. They all fly for it. Spills down the lead, and a hand pass away to Keane. Thought about going broadcast side, back the other way. It's Laird out of defence, and a good grab. Dan Kirchen leaping up, got it at half-back.
That was a big investment for the Crows.
I just saw this. Dawson, don't know what happened, but St Kilda player went to the ground. That's all I saw. And they've turned it over.
Curtains. Moment of the sun is over after that mark, and the Saints are going back inside 50. All hands on deck for the Crows as Murray knocks it away. Michael Lanny caught. St Kilda a chance, close to goal. Marshall ushers it out to the advantage of Sinclair. Handball to Wilson, flying shot goal, but he misses near side.
Yeah, guys, I'm just watching Jordan Dawson. He's getting the hard tag from Winhager now, so he's gone forward. He's trying to expose him for height. He was just trying to break free there, just to push and shove off the ball to break free and gave the free away.
Whilst you're running hot, Sean, what about Brad Hill?
Yeah, he's got to get into the game, doesn't he? He's got to come up around the ball, and he's got to get some handball receives and run and break the lines, because at the moment, for a player of his skill and ability, he's out of the game. Had one disposal at half-time. He's well below his standards.
Curtin, pick 8 the draft, year before last. Harley redraft. Short to Hinge. Trying to find a spot for him. So wing half forward, Dan Curtin.
Great pick-up, Hinge. Great pick-up by the Crows. He's been terrific.
From the line, like this man, Ben Keys. Well, the tricolours for Adelaide. Sends the kick down to half forward. Contest kick, slips out over the back. Schoenmaker put himself under the pump. Handball to Hasty. Trying to trap the footy. Peatling wrestling forward on the bottom of the ball up.
He's been okay, Schoenmaker. I think he's got a big future. He was highly regarded as a kid. Drifted to the back end of the draft, and the Saints took him, and Made him work hard for his position, but he looks like he's got so much upside.
What do you make of the Dan Curtin move to wing half forward?
Well, it's a challenging move. I thought he was going to be more of an inside player, but if he can play on the outside and then move into the inside, well, it's just even more valuable.
Wanganeen Malera drills a kick down the line. Caminiti trying to get a hand pass away. Saints racing the clock. Crouch through to Keane. Knocks it to the advantage of Laird. Hand pass to O'Brien. Caminiti came and got him. Handball over to Laird. Hand pass back inboard to Worrell. You can see he's scrappy and tight. Eventually comes out to Crouch. Trying to get some go forward for the Crows. Finds Neil Bullen. 12 ticks on the clock remaining. Neil Bullen loads up. Can they get a mark before the bell? Kicks to the hot spot. Dawson a fair bit of it. No mark. Rochelle at ground level. Tackle. Holding the ball. And that'll do us as we close the book on the first half. And Adelaide, after opening up a 5-goal advantage, kicking with the breeze, they hold off St Kilda in that second term and extend their quarter-time margin out to 37 points at the main break. It's all the home team so far. Ross Lyon, one of the best technical coaches in the game, got an opportunity to chat to his team at half-time. Can he spark them into something special after the break? It's Adelaide 10-4-64. They lead the Saints 4-3-27.
All right, half-time, folks, here, and this isn't going well for the Saints. We'll get back to the commentators not too far away. Well, we thought the Saints were going to actually make a little bit of a run for it in that quarter with a little bit of a breeze, the commentators were saying. But tell you what I was looking at there was the Saints are just flat-footed. It just doesn't look like the Saints have got much fight in them. And Adelaide, it just looks like one of these practice matches for Adelaide there at the moment. The only good thing is, St Kilda didn't let the margin blow out too much there in that second term. 30-point lead at quarter time, and of course, 37-point lead at halftime. Only the 7 points. Still have a chance, St Kilda, to get back in this game. Tell you what, the coach will want to rip into them at halftime and tell them to get their act together. AFL players, you would expect them to have more fight than this. That's my opinion. That's what I saw. I would not be happy with St Kilda if I was one of their supporters at all at the moment. So we want to see more out of them, out of some of their top liners, show a bit of grit, show a bit of chase, show a bit of determination. Take a little bit of a look out of Richmond's book on Thursday night. The biggest underdogs they possibly have been, and they got up and they did that. They showed the fight as well. Being said, Adelaide are just doing all they want to do. Carly just woke up. Good man, good man. Tell you what, it's 147. 147. I don't think the next game coming up I won't cover. I'll probably cover the West Coast Gold Coast game after this because I want to watch the Formula One Melbourne Grand Prix. So hopefully we can get another game in today. Let's just have a glance at the goal scorers and the disposal getters. I think that's loaded up properly. I'm always like to check that for everyone out there. Darcy Fogarty leading the way on the ground with 3 goals for the Crows. Riley Thilthorpe still with the 2. Taylor Walker with 1. Now, Taylor Walker got his goal. They were talking about marks. You know, they've got to be 15-metre marks or they're played on. Whether the same distance is in the back line, the full line, I think it just depends on the umpire. Well, that mark that Taylor Walker took inside 50, that had to have gone maybe 9 metres and the umpire called it a mark. And Taylor Walker got a goal from that. So, any wonder it's a little bit confusing, folks. Any wonder it is a little bit confusing. But there we go. That's the thing when you've got 4 umpires out on the ground. Rochelle with 1. Dawson, Cummings and Crouch all singles for the Crows. For the Saints, Maxie Hall, the multiple goal scorer there for the Saints, he's got 2. Malera, Wanganeen Miller has got 1. Jackie Higgins has got 1. Leading disposal getter out on the ground. You're asking yourself, well, there we go. Jack McRae with the Saints tops the table with 20. Likes his handball. He's only had 5 kicks. He's had 15 handballs over 3 marks, 9 clearances. So he's doing all right. He needs the rest of the team to lift. Matty Crouch next best for Adelaide on 19. Rory led with 18 for the Crows. Wanganeen there was 16 there for the Saints. Saligo, Rankin, Worrell, there we go. So we've got 5 of the top 7 the Adelaide players there in the disposal count so far out there on the ground today up until half time. Jack Sinclair with the 13 there for the Sainers. So they might be getting some tiggy touch, disposals. Oh gosh, I tell you what, the effort is just lackluster at the moment from St Kilda. As I said, the coach will want to get there. They want to try and fix that up, pinpoint that out to some of the players or the whole team, absolutely, and get that a mindset change up after half time. All right, let's just head back down to the rooms where the commentators will give us a little bit of their analysis.
Thilthorpe's kicked 2, Fogarty's kicked 3, and Texas kicked 1. I noticed in the pre-match both coaches said we want to hunt. But really, from that opening bounce, only one team's come out hunting.
Well, the Saints have only laid 29 tackles for the half, and they seem pretty tame when they're actually getting to. Although, having said that, the umpires aren't rewarding tackles today for some reason. They only gave 3 free kicks in the first quarter, 10 for the half. So you can hunt and you can tackle, but the umpire has to pay them. Feel for them a little bit, but we said before the game, if they are to really be a threat this year, really kick on, and they look like they're capable of doing it, their big fellas have to mark the ball. Well, they've marked the ball, and Tilthorpe's led the way with that. He's been, once again, a Goliath up forward.
Yeah, and what about the pressure? I mean, I've got a couple of numbers here for you. 221 is the pressure factor for this term, the second term. That equals relentless pressure.
Yeah, we know Adelaide's one wood is their pressure game, and as I said, they've tried to add skill into it over the last few years. They've done that. They've got talent in there. Rankin comes in, Dawson comes in. They're going to add... Can't wait for Sid to come on. But yeah, so they've got their skill up, but their one wood is their ability to pressurise the opposition when the oppo's got the ball.
Sid Draper, the debutant, started as the sub. Hunter Clark, the sub for the Saints. One shining light for St Kilda in the red, black and white for the very first time has been Jack McRae. I spoke about numbers. He's had 20 touches, 9 clearances, nearly a record.
He's finding the footy, isn't he? Well, we knew he would. He's just... if he pulls the cover over his sheets at night, he'll come up with a Sharon from the bottom of the bed. He's just unbelievable with it, finding the footy. It's a little bit the same, though. Only 102 metres gained, but he has had 5 kicks, 15 handballs. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, the record for clearances in a half is 10. Tom Rockcliffe holds that from a few years ago, 2017. So let's get down to ground level and touch base with Mark Rasciuto and Sean Burgoyne.
Can you stop talking about Tom Rockcliffe if we get too excited, won't he, Sean? He loves a plug, but he's talked about Adelaide's pressure up the ground and being 4th best last year. They haven't been good at that in the forward 50, but they have been today, Sean.
Yeah, they've kicked the 5 goals, 3 from forward half turnovers, and it's been the Tolls who are able to be the benefits of that, but it's across the ground. Like, you've got to rush Jordan Dawson there. If you don't rush him, he lowers his eyes and he'll hit a target because he's their best kick. And then you get pressure like this. St Kilda get the ball, but through relentless pressure, they get it. They turn it over to Adelaide Crows, and there's Neil Bullen lowering his eyes, composure, and hitting up Tex. They're just using the ball better inside 50, but it's on the back of pressure route.
Yeah, Fogarty's got 3, Thilthorpe 2, and Tex 1. Also, then you've got the hard-working Neil Bullen and Keys who have been working hard, and Rochelle there doing a bit of both.
They are. They're working up the ground, and once they turn it over, they're bursting back to goals. And as you're seeing there, Thilthorpe and the rest of the Tolls are identifying they've got space, so they're lengthening the field, and they're pushing hard with the ball and getting it further.
All right, it's been a big first half for Adelaide. We'll see what's happening in the second half coming up soon.
All right, so the boys will be back there with the commentary, so that we'll be back with them as soon as they're back. Let's go and have a look at some of the team stats while we are here. Adelaide, well and truly up on the team disposal count on the ground, as you can see. So they're in full control there at the moment. They know they're finding space, so they're just cruising along what is that? 46 disposals up already up to half time. 19 kicks, 27 handballs as they are inside 50s, creeping away a little bit. Adelaide, 14 scoring shots for 33. So not the best efficiency, but they're getting the job done. The one good thing about Adelaide is they're kicking accurate. 10 goals for. That's what you got to do. 23 inside 50s for the Saners for 7 scoring shots. Disposal efficiency, have a look at this from St Kilda. That is getting just dangerous zone. That's very, very low. They should be up around the 70 or a little bit higher if they're playing well. Which Adelaide are 71.5. This is just way too low. 62.4. Yeah, that's a team that's really, really under pressure and not doing much. Inside 50 efficiency, 51, 39. That could be a little bit higher, but still not too bad there. That's always good if they're up around 58%. Free kicks, the Saints on top there, 4-7. Nothing much happening in the free kick department. I think there's a lot of pretty much one-on-one. Adelaide just running in ways. 24-21 the hit-outs. 21-25 clearances. Saints up by a few. Centre clearances, Adelaide by a couple. It's just pretty even there. And the stoppages, of course, up by a couple. Contested possessions, pretty even. Uncontested possessions, they're just controlling the ball there, aren't they? Adelaide Crows, they're finding space, controlling the ball, as the uncontested possession shows, 150-109. 41 up's a fair margin up until half time in that discrepancy. Turnovers a little bit the same, I'm surprised to see. A bit of a scrappy game, but just a little bit more scrappier from the Saints there. The marks there, with that controlling game, the uncontested possessions, Adelaide will control the ball and have a few more marks there. So they are, what's that, about 18 marks in front. Marks inside 55 apiece. Well, that's not too bad, 5 apiece. Let's get that up a little bit. Contested marks, Adelaide stronger in the air. Tackles. Not too bad there from Adelaide, 40. That's actually a pretty good number up until half-time. Saints, that needs to lift a bit. The one thing we want to see, folks, by the end of this game, if St Kilda have got much pride at all and the coach gets into them, we want to see this tackle count. We want to see this number higher than Adelaide's number. That is for sure. We want to see St Kilda start to put a bit of pressure back on Adelaide if they're going to have any chance in this game. All right, folks, we'll be back. We'll be back in just a moment when the commentator's coming back. Need Rankin to kick, Ranky needs you to kick 2 goals. Not sure if he's kicked a goal, has he? Or has he? Let's just have a little bit of a look. No, he hasn't kicked. He hasn't kicked a goal yet, so we are still searching for Ranky to kick a couple of goals there for Tyson. Good stuff. It might be a blowout. It's definitely looking that way at the moment. As I said, you know, I expected St Kilda just to put a little bit of fight up in that second term, but they didn't. They just didn't do that. But, you know, that being said, they're lucky the margin didn't grow out to even higher. All right, let's get back down to the commentators and I'll continue on with a bit of an analysis.
At half-time. And, of course, still a couple of games to come up to this. Go straight to the G after this one for the Giants and Demons. Plenty happening in the newsroom. David Zeta's popped in and Zeet's, that Bulldogs injury list has just got a little bit longer.
It has. So Luke Cleary, the good news is there's no structural damage. He is okay, but he did cop a very heavy knock from Jackson Archer, a brutal collision. He has been cleared of that damage, so he's okay out of hospital, but the key issue was his health. He is okay, but he will miss next week under concussion protocols, obviously, but the main thing, his health, and he's all right. Jackson Archer, I think he might be in line for a 3-game ban just because of how the system works. It's either 0 or 3. I think it might be 3 because the MRO might think that he had reasonable alternatives. That will probably go to the tribunal, and then that's going to be a very interesting test case. Also, James O'Donnell, he has a fractured jaw, so obviously came off second best in that collision with Paul Curtis and came from the ground, and now will be missing a fair chunk of football with surgery to come pretty soon for him. And also Justin McInerney from the Brisbane Lions Sydney Swans game, I think he might be able to get a 3-match ban as well, because again, The system is it's either 0 or 3 because Starcevic was concussed. I think it's 3 because he elects to bump. It wasn't intentional, but he makes head-high contact and he causes a concussion. So that's there. And just a quick one, Isaac Henny, the Swans can't afford to lose any more of their stars. You know, Callum Mills is out currently.
He grabbed at that hammy.
He did grab at the hammy a couple of times. So we've just put a word into the Swans just to see what the go is. I think they're hopeful he's okay, but we will check because we know the one thing they can't afford to lose, other than their opening 2 games, is another one of their superstars. So a fair bit to play out, a fair bit in the wash, and I'm sure it'll be dissected many times throughout the course of the week. Both the Dogs, the Swans, every side. There's plenty going on.
Injuries keeping you very, very busy. We'll cut across to you throughout the course of this afternoon. Still a couple of big games to come on Fox Footy Sunday ticket, and still another half here. Can the Saints launch some sort of fight back in the second half? The Crowies leading it by 37 points.
rotating through there, so it's been good.
You got the wind at your back in the third quarter. What did Nixie ask for at half time?
Just bring our hunt back, mate. We just went away from a little bit in that start of the second, so want to make sure we're hunting him all over the ground and playing front half footy.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks, mate.
He's a top-notch footballer in his prime. Jordan Dawson, 11 and a goal in that opening half.
Well, on screen is the big positive for the Saints. Max Hall, mid-season draft last year, he's had 4 shots at goal. He's been impressive. And here's the negative, and he needs to improve, being one of the great players in the competition in recent times. Minus 4 metres, he's had 1 handball backwards, and the Saints just need him to get going. He would have had a chat to Ross at half-time. Now's the time to put up.
They've got to contend with the breeze in this quarter as well. The Saints with a bit to do. Adelaide by 37. The season starter for both these teams. They got an interference again here. Intervention. O'Brien to Rankin had the blinkers on. And Wilson came and got him.
That's great, coming off the square, just using your pace defensively as well as the attack.
Saints back the other way on the counter-attack. No mark, hits the deck. Miller, hand pass away, straight to Caminiti. He gives it to Wood. He's kicked, chopped down, and then lays a reckless tackle on Keane. Free kick for the Crows.
Yeah, he's another one, Mason Wood. He's been great for St Kilda since he's been there, but just 3 touches, sloppy tackle there. They look like they've moved him forward.
It's a bit more blustery out on the ground, just down there at half time. So I'm not giving the players all the forgiveness, but it's certainly more tricky than it looks.
21 degrees at the moment, and the gusts around 40 kilometres an hour. So gives you an idea of what the players are dealing with out there at the moment as Rochelle gets a hand pass away to Worrell off the back flank, kicks a little short. Burns able to turn it around for St Kilda. To Windhager, to Garcia, who marks and immediately rolls. Bit of quick ball movement for the Saints. Kicks just too far out in front of Higgins. Or Keane let it bounce close to the boundary line, and Keane sees it out. What adjustment do you want, Jared, from St Kilda at halftime if they are to get back in this game?
Well, they've just got to get their good players playing well, and it's clearly they're out-muscled and down on ability for their best. So it's all about just being as competitive as you can be, and hopefully the goals flow.
Hall of Famers Jared Healy, Mark Prosciutto, the 400-gamer, 4-time premiership winner Sean Burgoyne. Talking you through it this afternoon as McRae gets a centering kick. Good punch from Worrell. Rankin to Scholl. And he says, get it out of here. Kicks it out of defence. Dawson desperate. Can't complete the mark. Windhager feeds it to Garcia. Through to Wangadeen Malira. Hurried kick. Goal. What has it got? The trip. Keane on the line. He believes he got something on it. The goal umpire not convinced.
I think the players think he got something on it.
Score review. Umpire's call was a touch behind. Can you please confirm it was touch inside the play?
Review underway.
There we go. Second fingers bent back here. So well and truly in the field of play.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball is touched before crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on scoreboard.
Imagine in front of this crowd, it'd be a pretty high-pressure environment to be a goal umpire in Adelaide, the Crows' home game.
And no doubt it's good to have that back up on the score review.
All clear.
Particularly when the finger's bent.
Too soon, Mike.
Trying to forget about that.
Kane ugly kick towards centre half back. Good mark. Peatling. Saw the way that footy came in. Blustery conditions.
Sorry, Coleman, I've worked out where you were going.
Murray to Worrell. Hand pass over the top of Rochelle. Handball to Laird. He gives it to Miller, who turns and kicks down to high half forward. Nice mark, Saligo. With a three-headed monster up front.
And Tex was on his own too, but he wasn't used.
He's going to go deep. Fogarty and Philthorpe both in the pack. Ball hits the deck. Neil Bullen threw his arms back. No free kick. Fogarty collects. Tackled by Burns. He rolls him over.
Yeah, Neil Bullen certainly asked the question.
Is he entitled to it? Is that jumper was pulled?
Yeah.
Dangerous, the Crows, from these scenarios. Marshall trying to clear it. Peatling keeps it alive. Marshall hands it out. Still alive footy. Holding is the call. Free kick secured.
It is one of the issues when you've got these two big giants, or two of the big three up in the goal square. Sometimes it can be a magnet, and you forget that there is another one. This time was Tex. That was just sitting there on his own, 40 metres out. Could have easily just taken a chest mark.
Windhager told to move it on. Kicks to a contest. Caminiti swats it down. McRae keeps tracking the footy. Handball away towards Marshall. To Jones, back to McRae. And off the half-back line. Good kick. Finds Wood. Jack McRae ended up finishing with 9 clearances. He had them all by the 10-minute mark of that second term. Didn't quite get the double digits. Sinclair to Wanganeen Malera. Now to Caminiti. Hand pass to Wood, who keeps on running. A long left-footed kick to the top of the goal square. Wilson and Worrell. I'm not sure either got a touch on it. It'll be a goal to Wood. You don't have to draw pictures, but the Saints get the first of the second half.
Well, they've come out and they're playing good footy at the moment. Good run through the middle of the ground. Wanganeen Miller is super dangerous at the moment. Adelaide might have to look at trying to restrict his movement through the middle of the ground. Let's have a look if there is any touch.
Crows players are asking for a review.
Couldn't really tell from that angle. Darcy Wilson put his hands up like he was thinking it went through for a goal.
This is score review. Hold play, hold play. They check. Listen, get in the starting position.
They check every goal, of course, for the score review, and it'll be the same on this occasion.
This is score review. Score is confirmed. Play can recommence.
Goal will stand. That's the one the Saints needed the first of the second half.
Yeah, it's a great start by the Saints. Had a couple of opportunities. They've nailed that one. Saved one at the other end of the ground. Bit lucky.
Mason Wood with a long-range goal. The Saints, the opener of the second half.
Geez, you can really see the wind impact on that bounce. It was a pretty straight bounce, and it blew right to left.
And St Kilda, if they can get a couple of goals back on the Crows here and set themselves up for a run in the last quarter, they're still in it.
O'Brien with the hit out. Here's Richelli. Handball away to Neil Bullen, trying to snuff out any momentum the Saints can build. Handball away towards Saligo. Now to Cumming. Measures on the kick. He's got a couple. And Adelaide answers straight back.
And once again, they just got out the back through. Handball over the top, the two Crows players. A good finish by Cumming.
Yeah, great finish. He'll be very happy to kick a couple of goals in his first game, but just running forward. Just got his kick off in time and importantly kicked it straight. Good handball by Neil Bullen and Saligo. Fit into a side and get known by the home crowds, kick a couple of goals. Isaac Cumming, perfect start for him.
The North Broken Hill Bulldogs, same junior club as Taylor Walker.
Yeah, mates with Tex. Kick that one coming off the other side wing as well. So good hard worker.
O'Brien back in the middle, down to Crouch. Handball away to Saligo. Hurried kick inside the forward 50. Clean bowls a couple. Wilkie trotting back after it to collect it. Philthorpe first there. Handball to Peatley. Another goal. Two in quick succession for the Crows.
Well, it's good centre clearance by the Crows. Giving it to the big bloke. I've pumped him up a number of times, but I just love his skill level. He's got great vision. He's got obviously a really good footy brain. And he knew this ball was going sideways before he even got there. He reads the ball so much better than the Saints defend. I mean, that's really poor. But Riley is out, gives out the handball, and an easy goal ensures.
As a forward or a defender, have a look at this one here. Riley Philthorpe, the Cordy needed to be right with him there. You just got to predict that. You know the wind's at the back. There's every chance the ball's going to carry more than you think. And you need to be third in line, whether it's for a mark or whether it's to get a ground ball there. And Philthorpe just read it better and set the goal up for Peatling.
First goal, of course, in his new colours. Clever touch from Rankin, straight down to Saligo. Another quick centre break for the Crows. He kicks wide out to Walker. Looking for some separation, can't get rid of Schoenmaker.
My feeling is this has been coached. There's been too many of them tonight or this afternoon for it not to be. That is just tapping the ball rather than taking it in your hands. And that time we saw Isaac Rankin tapping the ball to his teammate. It's very effective because otherwise you just get a stoppage if you take possession.
Rankin, so dangerous at the stoppage.
That could have been another tap there, Jared.
Yep.
Sinclair overruns it.
Adelaide.
Oh, a free kick for a throw. Connell tries to paddle it out off the deck.
Tex is deep.
He's Rankin. He's within range. He loads up. Isaac Rankin is as advertised. And there's a weapon.
It was a brilliant conversion. It was pretty tough on Schellenberg, but he definitely paddled the ball in the air, about a metre maybe. But nevertheless, the finish was awesome. Here he is now. Could have been the tap, as you said. Let's have a look at this free kick. Ball spits out. Schellenberg flips it up. Gets penalised, but the beauty in this passage is all about the finish from number 23, famous Crows number.
Adelaide have won all 3 centre bounce clearances in this third quarter as well. When you get the wind at your back and you win the centre square, puts a huge amount of pressure on the back 6 of the opposition. So Saints have been really good in the first half of the game in the clearances. They need to just toughen up a bit here at the start of the third.
How about those ranking points? So Rankin, Filthorpe, 1-2. And another clean break out of the middle. Crouch to Soligo. Another centre clearance for the Crows, number 14. Spills down to Burns. Kicks out wide of the boundary line and coming. He first to arrive, the former Giant. Gives it to Peatling. His former and current teammate. Kicks to the hot spot. No mark. Falls down to Schumacher. Hand pass almost picked up by Filthorpe. Trying to wrestle it from him. On says, I'll have it. You get the feeling, Jared, that for them to be the team they want to be, they're going to need Rankin and Filthorpe to be the guys.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's why they're big-name recruits, and hopefully they're going to be big names in the game. Here he is.
Rankin turns, snaps, misses.
That's bread and butter for you, Isaac.
Brought the house down.
No, he's electrifying, Isaac Rankin. We saw it up on the Gold Coast. Great recruiting by Adelaide to drag him out of the Gold Coast. And he hasn't let them down, been a star for them.
Schumacher goes wide to Wilkie. Floats a kick down to half forward in breezy conditions. Jones turns his man inside out. Deep entry. Higgins flies for it. Michael Annie breaks it up. Shoots happen quick too. 3 goals in 4 minutes. All of a sudden they snuff out with any kind of momentum the Saints were hoping to build with the first goal of the half.
No, they haven't got any weaknesses now. That's why I've loved their recruiting. The midfielders have allowed them to just share their great players around, and some of the young players just have got better. Nicolani, etc.
This man central to all of it, Isaac Rankin. Back to Keane. Hand pass to Max Montlani. Out of defence. He kicks up to the wing. Out in front of Keys, running out of room. Keeps it alive through traffic. Clever kick. Tumbles to Hinge. Spins out of a would-be tackle. Handball away to Michael-Annie. Michael-Annie kicks it deep inside 50. Neil Bullen. No mark. Hits the deck. Off the ground. Neil Bullen goes. And all the new guys have one.
Well, they're all licking the ice cream at the moment, but good luck to him. He had a couple of shots in that first quarter, couldn't put it through. Does so much of the hard work, and you like to see the hard-working players end up getting a goal. We saw that Thursday night with, I think it was Campbell who got the goal in the last quarter. He was doing the tough stuff all night. And seen a bit of soccer too from the Adelaide boys today, so hard running from Max Michael-Annie from the back line.
2 for Cumming, 1 for Peatling, and now 1 for Neil Bullen. Jared, there's still a guy that can be subbed into the game that we're yet to see. Pick 4 in last year's draft.
Yeah, well, all the recruits, bar the substitute, have got goals today for the Crows. And I mean, it's Alex Neil Bullen. I don't think ever got his absolute true recognition for how good a player he was for Melbourne. They had so many great midfield stars, but he was always there with them. And it's a huge pickup from the Crows.
I think the coaches and the players rated him, maybe not the spectators.
Yeah.
With his best and fairest results, that speaks for it.
Here they go again. Dawson from long range. Kicks a rocket. There are 5 that can't be put out at the moment, the Crows.
And we're seeing them at their best at the moment because there's not that much resistance since half-time. I mean, that's a disappointment for the Saints supporters watching. But what we're seeing is what they're capable of. Now, obviously, they're going to have to make it into the finals and win big finals. They're going to have to do this against sides equally as talented. But this just shows how potent they are. They have got weapons on every line, and they're getting better.
Well, that was a 65-metre left footer. Started in the centre square. Dorsey's had a bit of a close check in Windhager since he was on fire in that first quarter. Gave away a bit of a frustrated free kick in the second quarter, but great kick by Dorsey.
Boyd and O'Brien back in the middle. 5 straight goals for the Crows. Soligo to Crouch as he's going to ground. Still gets it to Dawson. Tumbles a kick out wide. Scholl and Hill. Hill moves him out of the way. Sends the Saints down to half forward. Mason Woodmarks. Unless you're a St Kilda fan, even neutrals in the competition, it's fun to watch when a team is up and going like this. And even though the Saints have a few out, it makes you think, which side of the comp wouldn't Adelaide do this to today? The way they're playing as Wanganeen Malera puts it out of bounds in the forward pocket.
And guys, just down on boundary level, it's just starting to spit down here. The rain's just starting to come and drizzle, so expect to get a bit slippery on the ball.
Well, I'm glad you've taken my spot as boundary rider then, Sean. Just enjoy the rain down there, buddy.
Stay dry. Silt. Sean Burgoyne. 400 game, a 4-time premiership winner for the boundary throwing. Steele, high up and under. Worrell puts his fist into it. Higgins trying to wrestle it from Keane. All up. 5 goals in the space of 8 minutes.
And 4 goals from stoppage in this term.
Steele from the pocket to try and settle it down. He puts it out of play. It's opposite pocket.
5 goals for the game, 4 in this term from stoppage. And a couple of them from the centre bounce as well.
Yeah, 6 centre bounce clearances to 0 in the third quarter, Jared.
Yeah. And certainly lifted in that area.
In the first half, it was 9-7. So, God, they're very, very important. One of the most important stats in footy, centre bounce clearance.
O'Brien to lead, and now Dawson out of defence. Walker hitting up. Can't trap it. Curtin got it out. Back to Walker. Here they go again. Off half back to Keys. He kicks to the open side. Rochelle into his path. Open forward 50. Unguarded. Goal square. Misses.
But it was great play. I love the way Rochelle kept his width. He didn't close into the corridor. He kept his width. But the kick is, you can see the evidence of some spots of rain. The kick was absolutely superb. Set him up for a shot.
Saints trying to get something going themselves. Caminiti on the halfway.
Just got to hang in there with their energy now, St Kilda. Obviously the scoreboard tells them the job is the result's done. But they've got to hang in there with their energy.
Kicked the first goal of the second half, but Adelaide responding with 5 quick ones to open up the game. Jones works his way through traffic. Nice bit of work in game 150. Puts it on the chest of Higgins.
Well, that's exactly what we're talking about. Good energy there from Zach Jones. Won the ball well, hit a chest. And hopefully they get some reward for it.
It's bread and butter for Higgins, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. Might be a bit more difficult with the wind.
Further out.
Blowing into the wind, although there'd be some fair bit of protection there from the grandstand.
Higgins off his preferred right boot. Hooks it. A little wide. Across the face for a behind. Big off-season for Adelaide after an underwhelming campaign by their standards. Just 8.5 wins.
Well, they're all over the shop here with this defence.
Yeah, that's a big hole, wasn't it?
They're going to do well to stop it there. Well, they have.
It's a great view for you at home as well. Look down the ground, and that's what presents for Rochelle. He finds a beautiful option.
Texas free up forward.
Guys, St Kilda have made their sub. Hunter Clarkson to the play for Hasty. He's been subbed out.
Thanks, Sean. Fogarty, strong. Velcro for hands, rips it down, out wide on the boundary line, centering kick, Keys the target, got him.
And the Crows faithful getting very excited. Sid Draper, the subs warming up as well. Just checking to see who the Crows are going to sub out.
Well, Walsh would have been looking at the clearance numbers and said, well, we've got Hunter Clark there, he's a clearance specialist, let's get him on the ground. Lacey's been okay, but he gets a rest. And the avalanche continues.
As he skips in, Ben Keys makes it 6 on the bounce. A third quarter blitz from the Crows.
This is exactly what Matty Nix would have wanted. It was a solid first half, but this is a very good third quarter. And Darcy Fogarty, not only a great shot on goal, great field kick as well. And I think Jared, you said it in the second quarter. The Adelaide Tools, Tex Walker, Darcy Fogarty and Riley Thilthorpe all got very good goal kicking techniques.
And they're great field kicks, as you just said. Well, they are all weapons. Both sides of the body, the tools for Adelaide, they are just magnificent kicks, field kicks, goal kicks, and they're all mobile. It's a potent force, and you've got the likes of Rochelle and Rankin at their feet. It's basically get it in there and let the talent do the work.
And Benny Keys getting his first goal for the day. He kicked 34 goals last year. Underrated player, joint best and fairest with Jordan Dawson last year.
It's a good point, Rob.
He's their 11th goal kicker today, Ben Keys. Just getting it done by committee, the Crows. Darcy Fogarty's got 3, and then 3 other players with 2 each. A rare entry for the Saints in this quarter. Neil Bullen to Curtin, spins out of the hill tackle. Back to Neil Bullen. Thilthorpe up on the wing. Gordy knocks it away from him. Oh, Sinclair clipped on. Jack Sinclair bounces up, trying to spark something for St Kilda. Kicks down to half forward. The ruckman wrestle close to the boundary line, and they see it out.
Boys, you can hear the crowd there. Sid Draper's just been subbed on, the pick 4 from the national draft. And I think Taylor Walker's been subbed. Looks like he's sitting at the back with the shirt on.
We'll make sure he's all fit and not just be looking after the old fella.
18 seasons, it's a big career.
So Pendlebury 21. I wonder who's got more than 20 seasons in the AFL. Sean Burgoyne?
Windhager tackled by Dawson, just got it out. Garcia collects, snaps the ball goalward. Backpedaling is Keane, spills the mark, but just behind. Sid Draper, by the way, picked 4 in last year's national draft, twice an All-Australian at under-18s level. The best local product in the draft, and next best player on the board. The Crows taking him at 4 last year, the South Adelaide product.
Sean Burgoyne, do you have more than 20 seasons?
There's only a few of us going around the room.
Here he is, Draper.
It didn't take him long. He's a hell of a good-looking athlete.
The number 34 on his back, Ben Hart's old number, kicks long down the line. Slides out the back, Boyd. Wanganeen Malira against the boundary line. Gets rid of Neil Bullen. Sends it back down to half forward, and Dawson picks it off.
Well, Ben Hart, from memory, was All-Australian in his first 2 years, so it's a bit of a challenge for the young fella to emulate that.
Easy, Jared.
Here he is again, Draper.
Giving him a couple of siders.
Starts as the sub, checks into the game here. His second kick down to half forward. Thilthorpe the target, slides through to Fogarty. Handball under Curtin, closes to 45, centering kick. Punched away by the Saints. There's Hunter Clark, the sub fresh on the game. For St Kilda, Fogarty reloads and kicks a wild one.
A couple of wasted opportunities there. The kick from Curtin probably not the right option, but they're all just learning experiences for young players.
It's actually a good call. I know Tex was playing a really good game, but it's a long season for Tex. They're going to manage him correctly in 2025 to hopefully get him playing at his best when it counts.
44 years young Taylor Walker, the oldest player on the ground today, and the youngest man on the ground, Sid Draper at 18, replaces him. There's Fogarty in the pocket, the target. Rankin thought about keeping it alive, and it's enough to make you sweat as a St Kilda defence. They shove him out of play. What are they capable of, Jared, in 2025? What do you see in this Adelaide team?
I wouldn't put a ceiling on what Adelaide could do with this group. I mean, clearly if they don't play finals, well, that'd be a massive disappointment. And the only way I see that is if they get savagely hit with injuries. I mean, just look at the talent on every line. I know they had a bad year last year, had lots of injuries, but this group now is right in the sweet spot.
Keane, the forward 50 kick. Manganine. Malera's up to pick that off.
He's been the standout for him, hasn't he?
Yeah. As we love to say, sort of health is wealth, and they've only got 2 players on their injury list to start the season. Chase Jones and Kieran Strawn. The only 2 that start the season in that position for Adelaide. Saints get it up over halfway. Bradley Hill allowed time and space to run. We haven't seen that today. Kicks down to half forward and slips it past Garcia. A few deep breaths for Darcy Fogarty.
Push the trainer away.
Mason Riley.
4 guys they brought in. The Crows all playing today, or 4 new faces today. Obviously 3 from other clubs, and Draper on debut, so that adds to their depth. Haven't lost anyone from their best 22, Jared, over the off-season.
No, they're well staked. What I love about Thilthorpe as well, and if you're an Adelaide fan and coach, you'd be just thrilled that Thilthorpe's a good ruckman. Trying to find a second ruck in this industry is really tough. Ultimately, he's got to play forward. Well, he could be a first ruck on any other side, I reckon, Thilthorpe, and yet he's one of the best up-and-coming young key forwards. We saw the value of Big Joe for Adelaide, for the Brisbane Lions. And this bloke has got every chance of emulating his dudes.
Thilthorpe wins a hit out here. Saligo spins out of the tackle. Hand pass meant for Neil Bullen. Tunnel ball through the legs of Clark. There's Draper. Wins the ball. Hand pass their way to Shoal. It's a crouch and the kick goes wide, and in the end Saligo leaves it for Fogarty.
Look like they're trying to take a little bit of heat out of the game for some reason here, Adelaide. They've got the wind at their back, but just look like they're chipping it around a little bit more, making St Kilda perhaps man up a little bit, and if they don't, they're happy to take the short kick.
Isaac Cumming, 2 goals in his first game for his new club, former Giant. Down to half forward, Dawson in from the side, but Caminiti comes up with it. Oh, Schoenmaker is caught. Was waiting for the tackle. Rankin got him. Fogarty takes the advantage, kicks it to the behind line, and Rochelle spills it through.
He'd be disappointed with that one, Rochelle. I think the grab is on the inboard side of the line.
Chris Riley Thilthorpe, very talented junior, went number 2 overall in his national draft behind Jamara Ugle-Hagan, who was the number 1 overall pick. Of course, was bid on as part of that. He's an academy prospect. Wilkie off the back flank. Finds Hall, who's had a good day in a side that's been well beaten so far.
Yeah, he's been impressive. There's a good kick from Wilkie too.
Crows with the last 6 in the contest. That was after St Kilda kicked back-to-back goals either side of half-time, just to keep their faint hopes alive. And the Crows pounding away in this 3rd quarter, showing not just St Kilda but the competition what they're capable of. Another free for a push. It's a free though to the Crows, and Isaac Cumming. So it's a big statement this weekend, haven't we? Geelong flexing in the final quarter, 10 goals against Fremantle to finish the match. Obviously Collingwood last night against Port Adelaide. The Crows trying to make a statement of their own here this afternoon. Saints out of defence. Max Hall to Sinclair.
He's trying to build it up, but ultimately the skill level has let them down again.
Now they're in a live play. Sinclair in trouble. Worrell tackles him. Ball comes out. Hall's got it. Kick smothered. Great work, Worrell with the 1%er. Saligo to half forward through the hands of Rochelle. Plenty of time to clean it up. Kicks into the path of Rankin. Takes the catch.
Well, in trying to build it up, they let themselves down. You shouldn't be kicking to a pressure kick that's 15 metres. And the turnover there has cost them badly.
Goalless in the first half. Isaac might get 2 in the third and missed what he would call a setup.
He's the motor of this team. Isaac Rankin, the Crows' best player, puts it on show again. couple today, and all of a sudden the Crows have kicked the last 7 in the contest.
Yeah, they certainly have flexed, and it's strange because St Kilda came out with lots of pressure and got themselves a first goal, and yet it's just dropped off. I'm not sure about that particular kick. It looked like a bit of a munt, but nevertheless. If you got Isaac Rankin as your deepest forward, you know you're dangerous.
Sid Draper starting in the centre square now. Keep an eye on his speed, a bit like Isaac Rankin with a turn of foot.
They conceded the first 5 goals of the contest. St Kilda, they did get back within 5 goals earlier in this term. Just flicked on now, you're thinking, gee, what happened? Well, we've seen a burst that will ring bells across the competition. 7 straight goals for the Crows. They put their foot to the floor at home. It shows what they're capable of. A great spread of goal kickers. 11 different guys have put one through. They've got now 5 players that have kicked multiple goals. Fogarty leading the way with 3, 2 each for Thilthorpe, Dawson, Rankin and Cumming.
Big Harry's got the free kick. No, Jack McRae's got the free kick.
He's had 11 clearances, McRae, 25 disposals. That's a good first game at your new club.
Yep.
3-time All-Australian Jack McRae sends the Saints inside 50. Marshall trying to get his leg free, trips over O'Brien. He's Wood, he gets a bit of space, snaps and goals. And boy, did they need that.
Yeah, the goals are just about belief and energy right now, trying to work your way into some good form for the ensuing month of footy. Got a tough month of footy coming up in the Saints, which is a real shame given they've got this spate of injuries in their forward half, but you've just got to keep the energy up in the group and on the ground so you can take something out of what's obviously going to be a bit of a belting.
Mason Wood becoming a bit of a quad complaint of the pre-season to be here. Kicks a goal and gets the start in round 1 for the Saints.
Couple now for Mason.
Both coming in this term. As O'Brien with the centre break. The big man out to half forward. Howard knocks it away. Webster. Oh, short kick. Bit of miscommunication. Got through to Clark. Handball to Hall. Sends it to half forward. Wood goes up. Can't complete the mark. Ball hits the deck. Here's Higgins. Hand pass over his shoulder. Puts it into the path of Max Hall. Handball further forward to Wilson. Wilson dishes it off. Back to Wood. Sweeping hand pass. Finds its way to Marshall. He's tackled out of play.
I think given their injuries, Roo, Mason Wood's a better option for them in the forward line right now. He's almost All-Australian as a wingman a couple of years ago when he first went to St Kilda and has settled in and been a terrific part of their team, both on and off the field. But he looks a better option to me, trying to rebuild their forward line until the cavalry comes back.
Well, he's 192, that's 6'3.5", so he's got the height to be a good third tall.
Hill to make it 2 in a row. It's there. The Saints trying to get something going.
Well, it's now 7 goals to 3 in this third quarter. Hill working his way into the game after a very, very slow start. And they need to, because they've been poor in this third quarter. Let's have a look.
There's a good Shepherd in the finish. Give and Shepherd set Hill up nicely, and he finished.
Only had the 1 kick in that first half. He's had 4 in the third quarter and now a goal.
Your coach's hat on. Jared, if you're Ross Lyon, what would be the first thing you want to tell your team at 3/4 time?
Standards. Let's build for next week. He wouldn't be looking at scoreboard. He'd be just looking at standards, way to play, and trying to get the best out of 30 minutes.
Oh, McRae straight through to Wood. Got a chance to make it 3 in the term.
Well, on those coaching moves, guys, they've dropped the Jordan Dawson tag. Winterhagen now has just gone to a half-forward role, and Dawson's just playing on ball by himself.
Mason, 1 metre, please. Mason, metre. 1 metre.
And a lovely kick too, Mason Wood. Yeah, I think he's got to stay there. They trialled him against Port Adelaide. He started on the wing, ended up in the forward line, and he's certainly their best option. Caminiti just couldn't find it.
Mason Wood skips in, drop punt. Fades out to the right. Latter stages of the quarter, Saints fans are going to try and pick up a few of the positives. Basically, the whole forward line is injured and not playing today. They got younger in the off-season as well. They went from the 10th oldest to the 14th oldest, or to frame it the other way, the 5th youngest listed this season.
They're trying to rebuild on the run, aren't they?
And they've got some really good talent. I mean, the future is bright for St Kilda if they can keep on nailing the draft.
The top 3 picks aren't playing today.
No.
Toby Travalia, pick 8 in last year's draft, and Alex Taru, who's on the injury list at the moment. He's out for the next month.
And probably 7 of their best 22 not playing with injury.
Goes down to Keys. His kick smothered. Sinclair off the back flank in characteristic fashion. Bit more intervention. Free kick downfield for the Saints. They want to move it on with seconds peeling off the clock.
Goes against Dawson.
Right on the bat.
Those will have a shot for the stat.
Jack McRae's going to take the kick. It won't get there.
Really for the stats.
They kicked the last 2 of the quarter, but the damage was done before that. A fearsome turn from the Adelaide Crows. They show us what they're capable of. How much more can they add? What can the Saints get out of this final term? It is a 10-goal advantage for the home team as we turn for home at Adelaide Oval.
Kev has trouble keeping track of his car, let alone a missed delivery card. That's why we've made them available on the AusPost app. So even Kev can find them whenever he needs. You ask, we deliver at Australia Post.
At Coles, we're on a mission to help inspire Aussie kids to eat better and to get active too. Which is why we're proudly sponsoring kids' sports programs all over the country, like Coles Healthy Kids.
Aw, thank you, Tom.
It's a great way to get kids moving and to support local communities. Coles, proud partner of the AFL, AFLW and Healthy Kicks.
All right, sorry about that, folks. I was just away for a moment. They'll be back in just a moment. Let's just have a quick look. Let's have a quick look at the goal scorers. Just want to make sure and see if Frankie's got 2. There we go. He was asking if Frankie was going to kick 2. There he is. Frankie has now 2 goals. 2 goals, 1 off 22 disposals. Fogarty leads the way on 3 goals. Mason Wood 2. Thilthorpe 2. Ranky 2. There we go. Hall, Dawson coming on 2. There you made your goal scorers. All right, now we're back. Let's get back down to the commentators. We are under 1 minute before the final bounce of the final quarter. Adelaide going to have a big victory here, I think, today. But can the Saints make a little bit of a comeback? Can they? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. 3 goals 4. The Saints kicked in that third term. Adelaide, though, 7 goals 3. All right, let's get back. Yeah, it happens. Just back to the basics, start from scratch. Exactly. I mean, that's what happened last week when GWS doubled Collingwood's score, 104 to 52, I think, and then Collingwood come out, of course, last night and whopped their opposition, Port Adelaide. So it could be the same for the Saints, just one of those jittery starts. All right, let's head back down to the ground. We'll head down for the bounce for the final quarter.
Against the Cats, Tigers in round 3, but he wants to get something out of this quarter. The only way that happens, if you just get energy. Forget the scoreboard, just give us your 100% effort. Individuals trying to get something out of this quarter and collectively as a team get something out of it.
And he's taken a bit of extra time there, Mark, as well with his team. So the Crows are already split and in position, and Ross really making sure he gets his message through. Sean Burgoyne on the boundary, the 400 gamer.
Yeah, Corey, it's been a tough day at the office so far. What's the priorities for the last?
We've got to get back to trying to win the footy first and foremost. Get it in our front half and keep it up there. We haven't given our forwards enough chances yet.
No worries. Good luck for the last quarter.
Corey Enright, who's got a new role this year, so not a line per se, oversees all 3 lines as the head of strategy at St Kilda. Ross Lyon's right-hand man.
Well, there's a ripper of a fella, Corey Enright. I reckon they've been pretty good except for that 10-minute patch in the third quarter.
Well, I'm pleased with this. I've always wanted to see Caminiti as a defender. So that's an experiment for Ross, and I think it's overdue.
Draper, first possession of the final term. The 18-year-old on debut. Feeds it to his captain, Dawson. Kicks inside the forward 50. Rankin got a little separation. Can't complete it. There's your man, Caminiti. Slides out of bounds for the footy.
Well, when the Tools come back, Max King comes back and Owens comes back, there's probably no spot for him in the forward line. So can he play in defence? It's been something I'm sure Ross would have been thinking about for a fair period of time. The game's done. Let's get something out of it by way of finding out about the group.
Burns, the bottom of the pack, stacks on the mill. Mention the Cats, that's a Saturday night fixture for St Kilda next week. Back home at Marvel Stadium. It's a bit of an interesting draw for them to start the new season as Neil Bullen floats one to the goal square. Caminiti back.
Yeah, they're the extra defender there, the Saints.
Quirk of gather round, they play both the Crows and the Power away in the first 4 weeks. So 3 of their first 5 games for St Kilda are actually played in South Australia. There's Hinge, wins it back on halfway. Hand pass through to Crouch. Over the top to Laird. Looks inside the forward 50. Fogarty thought about the climb. Philthorpe arrives late.
He's got his hands to a lot more than what he's actually marked today. Riley's could have had a big day out, but haven't quite stuck.
They're going to at some stage, right? Scary proposition for all defenders out there looking at this match.
He's still only 22.
He's a baby.
But the big guys, we always say, take a little longer to come on, and even though he's missed a bit of footy.
Is that beard since he was 14, though?
He shaved it off for charity last year, lost all his strength.
He's got plenty of road in front of him, Riley Philthorpe. What a prospect for the next decade. Good kick from Burns.
He's been pretty good, Burns. I reckon he's shown a fair bit today.
Hill, hand pass back to Burns. Cruising through the middle to McRae. Hurry kick forward at the drop. Higgins. O'Brien puts his fists on it. The big man comes up with it. Handball to Draper. They love this youngster. Hand pass out in front of Rankin, their prime mover. Hangs bodies with Webster. Rankin goes and gets it again. Handball to Neil Bullen. Hand pass over to Fogarty. Chips it short. Rochelle cops an unkind bounce. Still plenty of time for him, trying to link up with Saligo. Back to Rochelle. Hooks it off the right peg. Another one for the Crows.
A bit messy, but they got there in the end. A few fumbles, a few sort of kicks that didn't quite hit the target. Just a bit of class to finish from Rochelle. Let's have a look at it. Riley O'Brien running halfback flanker. There's Draper. He's got that turn of foot. That was a bad handball. Set Rankin up. Just kick missed. Wasn't pretty by any stretch. Really just a good finish there by Saligo, by Rochelle, who's had a good day at the office so far. 19 disposals, 2 goals won. He set 2 goals up in the first quarter, so he could end up having a good day out, as he should when a side wins by more than 10 goals.
So now 6 multiple goal kickers today. Adelaide, best of them, Fogarty with 3, and the other 5 all have 2. O'Brien down to McRae.
Oh, great tackle.
That Adelaide coming in off the square there, Burns.
Yeah, he came in hard, Burns. It was great to tackle the footy and a good tackle to stop him in his tracks.
Boyd wins the hit out. Cumming coughs it up. Wilson sends it down to half forward for the Saints. Marshall, who's been playing up front most of today, tearing out after it. Murray right there with him, sees it out.
Yeah, the boy, winning the hit-out's one thing. You've got to hit it to your teammates if possible. He's had just 6 hit-outs to advantage. Riley O'Brien's had 11. I mean, it's not a stat that ever gets up in the 50% range. If it runs around 17%, you're doing well.
Michael Annie trying to wrestle it on the bottom of the pack and Steele holds it in.
Riley.
So to put that into perspective, he's had 25 hits. 6 to advantage.
McRae had to Clark. Head bust, miss the intended target. Scholl off the back flank to Rankin. Now to Dawson. Gets a kick into open space. Favour Boyd. In opposition, ruckman Jamie Sinclair by hand invites Rankin in. That's all he needs. A little invitation. Gives it to Neil Bullen. He wants it back, Rankin. 52 metres out. Pokes the pass inside 50. Scholl, who started it all. No mark. Through to Saligo. Hooks it through. And Adelaide are relentless.
Jake Saligo, there's been a lot of talk about him. He had a breakout year last year, but he actually got injured just before the start of the season. That's why he started the first game as a sub, but ended up coming 3rd in the best and fairest. He's had a really good summer this year, and now he's had 27 disposals and 1 goal. Very smooth moving, very good in tight. If he can sneak forward and start kicking some goals as he has in the pre-season, he'll be a very good player.
Just a swoop on that. And then it was just a little bit too easy, this particular one. When the fatigue sets in, the pressure drops off. When you've got a talent deficit, you can get opened right up. So it's could be party time now for the Crows, if it hasn't been already.
Crooked bounce to be recalled. So I mentioned that start to the season for St Kilda, 3 of their first 4 to be played. 3 of their first 5 to be played in South Australia, while for Adelaide next week is all of a sudden an interesting game. They play Essendon on the road at the MCG, which might tell us a fair bit about both those clubs.
I reckon they looked all right, Essendon, the other night. They were just up against a very good team.
Yeah, they worked hard, didn't they?
Here's Draper. You know, cheer every disposal for him. Pick 4 in last year's draft. The South Adelaide product kicks inside the forward 50.
Big switch out there.
Keys trying to get a hand pass away to Rochelle. That was a free kick. It's coming back to Keys.
Should have been a free kick early. The big shove out. I think it was of Riley Thilthorpe, but they don't get paid too often these days.
Well, he's going to back himself on the left foot. So, Rochelle was there saying, "Give it to me. I'm on my right." Didn't want to bar him it.
One of 6 lefties out there today for the Crows, Ben Keys.
Tough kick for a left footer.
Up against the boundary line. Keys is going to go with the drop punt and pushes it across the face. In the end, doesn't score.
And Rash is looking at him going, I told you.
Outside 5 now. Outside 5.
Surprising he didn't do a boomerang.
Oh, not 15. There's that rule again, Jared. Short to Sean Maker, and that's definitely 15 all the way out to Wilkie.
Play on. Scores.
Wilkie, contest kick up to the wing. Punched away at the back. Draper, the first gamer. Came to soccer in the end, pushed through by O'Brien. Saints had it, lost it. Roll to Draper. Powers through the stoppage. Hand pass away to Scholes. Short kick to Philthorpe. Good build up. And Draper central to all of it. Philthorpe wants to lay it off to Rochelle. Great team footy.
It would have been a tough kick from where Philthorpe was with that breeze right to left. A lot easier shot here after finding Rochelle.
Crows don't play a finalist until round 5, so obviously based off last year's standings, we've got Essendon, North Melbourne, Gold Coast, the next 3 before they meet Geelong in gather round. Rochelle to finish it off. The great team play. Oh, he's missed.
It's come off the inside of the boot.
Just going back to that last kick of Caminiti's that was turned around. You can't do it near the goals because the goal umpires know exactly the distance between the goalposts.
I think you think a bit deeper than everyone else, Jared.
Well, they know it's about 13 metres or roughly thereabouts between 2 posts.
Kick comes inside the forward 50, spills out the back. Wanganeen Malero, the 1-2 with McRae, and then goes darting away. Messiah, good kick into the path.
Oh, he's coming off. What's he? Is he
calling for it? Wanganeen Malero with a few problems behind play. We'll get back to that as Marshall has a chance to goal here. Lays it off to Garcia. He tunnels it through from the pocket. One back for the Saints.
Good goal, but Wanganeen Miller, let's see what's happening. Is he cramping or has he done an injury? Hopefully it's cramp.
Yeah, getting the pickle juice there, a little bit of cramp.
Well, he was running hard. I was watching Wanganeen Miller at Jared. Did you see what actually happened at the other end?
I didn't. I was too busy Googling the distance between the 2 posts for accuracy at 16.4 metres. So 2 posts is 12.8. Nice bounce in the end for Hugo.
New deal until 2027, re-signing recently along with his mate Angus Hasey. There's the side Wanganeen Milleros.
Yep, it's cramp. Pickle juice and the calves all gone.
It's been a bit of that, as we know, in the footy world through the first couple of games. 3 more teams yet to start their season a little later today. See the Demons roll out, then of course West Coast and Gold Coast, the last 2 to tee off. Here's Neil Buller. Oh, hand pass. Couldn't quite get it to Scholl. Falls out the way of the Saints. O'Connell got it from Hall. The 2 debutants link up. Picked up by Hinge across the half-back line. A sprawling 9 for Murray. The other point about the Crows is you sort of look back on last season and forecast what they can be this year. That's a helicopter. One with the lot turns it straight over to O'Connell. They did play 13 finalists last year, more than any other team in the league, as Clark puts it on the chest of Marshall. And just to give you a comparison on that, the Brisbane Lions, Jared, in the home and away season played only 8 of the top 8 teams. And
yeah, a tough draw. We never know quite how tough your draw is until everybody presents, but it was a tough draw. Had some injuries. Had a couple lost their way, but everybody seems on song early in the piece.
Rowan Marshall, coming off that stress fracture in his pelvis, he spent most of the day up front with an undermanned forward line. Going to get a bit of reward here. No.
He's had a quiet day. Actually hurt himself in that first quarter as well, in the lower leg.
Tough sledding for the Saints today. 11 goals down. They've lost every quarter so far. Can they edge the last? As Wilkie takes the intercept mark. Both subs made in that 3rd turn. We'll get down to Sean Burgoyne In a moment for a health check on Walker and Hasty, the two that came out. That's a good kick into the path of Wilson. How are they, Sean, the two men that have been subbed out?
Yeah, well, they haven't received any treatment. They're just sitting at the back of the box with their shirts on. I don't think there's any injury concerns, but Nazar Wangani Malera, he's just getting the calves worked over. He was cramping fairly heavily.
Good news. I'm going to put Taylor Walker on ice early today, the 34-year-old. Darcy Wilson. He's a nice prospect out of St Kilda. The drop punt is near side.
Keep coming out. Go.
21 possessions. Pretty good return in a side that's been well beaten, coming off mainly the outside of the centre square.
He's going to be a very good footballer.
Terrific,
Not dissimilar to Wangani Miller.
Rory Laird from the back pocket. Dawson taps it close to the boundary line. Wood hangs it inside. Hand pass to Clark. Court holding the ball. Advantage applied. And Peatling goes darting away off the back flank. Kicks down the wing. Wilkie back with it. Chance to reload for St Kilda. Kicks in the Mason Wood direction. Knocked away from him. Close to the boundary line. And Caminiti sees it out. Just on Rory Laird, Mark Rashido. Feels like a little a change of roles for him this year, much less midfield time than what we've seen from him in the past.
Yeah, I think with Rankin's emergence, Saligo, Peatling coming into the side as well, Draper, push him back, and he's an All-Australian, dual All-Australian defender, so I think going back there later in your career, that's been done by plenty of good players, so I think that's where Laddie will find himself for most of the season.
Such an important position now. You've got to win the flag, you've got to be able to get goals off your half-back line. Dane Zorko was the epitome last year. And Rory Laird, as you said, Ruth, he's just going back to apply his old trade.
And just trying to get a bit more speed and dynamic players through the midfield.
A bit more depth to the Crows, as we touched on. They didn't lose any of their best 22. They brought 4 guys in today. So you just have to do the math there. You realise that those 4 players that miss out then become your next 4 on the depth chart, and all of a sudden the list grows from there. Just 2 on the injury list. Brodie Smith, I think, was ineligible to play today after a suspension in the practice match, but not a certain starter for the Crows in their best team. As Michael Annie goes wide, trying to link up with Laird and knocked away from him by Hall out of play. Is that fair, Mark Rashido?
Sorry, I was just doing a bit of work on Josh Rochelle at the moment, finding out he's got 12 score involvements. It's the first time he's ever done that, Josh Rochelle, so I actually didn't hear you.
He's third highest rated game of his career so far. He's got 21 touches. His PB's 23, so we'll follow the progress there. Just on Brodie Smith, about where he sort of fits in the Crows in their best 23.
Yeah, well, I think he's on the edge now. Unfortunately, he's been a star player for the club, but he's been in good form in the pre-season, so it's just position, really competition for spots, which is what you want in the good side, so hopefully he can get back in.
Marshall hand on it here to Wilson. Kicks the Saints to centre half forward. Good kick to Higgins. He rolls immediately. Kicks into a vacant forward 50. Needs the kind bounce. He gets it. The Saints with a couple in a row.
Well, that one just floated on the wind over the back, and I'm not sure if he read it best or he read it worse, but he was in the right position. That was just a floater, and it came over the back. It was a great finish though by Jack Higgins. Got a nice bounce and a good exit.
Stay sharp, kid. Stay sharp.
He's been pretty good today, Higgins.
Yep. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities. Roo, tell us about the impact of Murray Davis, who the club brought to Adelaide from the Premiership combination in Brisbane, and his influence.
Look, he's been at Brisbane for a long time. He's been there when they were down the bottom. He's been there when they got into the 8, into the 4, into a grand final, and then winning a grand final. So a lot of experience, just taking a bit of pressure off Matty Nix, doing a few of the jobs that he was doing everything last year. So just giving it an extra set of hands, some great IP from a great club in Brisbane as well. So just strengthen up that coach's box, which, it's always a good thing.
Yep.
We're always trying to bring in new ideas and new information from the best clubs.
Brisbane were number 1 for uncontested marks last year at 99.6. Adelaide are well north of their 78th and 13th ranking last year. Has there been influence on the way you're playing as well?
Well, I would have thought that he's going to bring in some parts that he thought Adelaide were lacking in, or just trying to give a few more options to the game plan that is already well established at Adelaide. So I don't think it's a huge change at all. I think there's just been some small changes to the program and just trying to do it better.
13 seasons at Brisbane. Murray Davis, now the coaching director. It's an official title in the box for Adelaide.
Amazing about game plans. They always look better when you've got better players.
Look, everyone wants to play well, but they're just not capable of it, are they? So
the old NEAFL, the NEFL, which is no more. He won a premiership there with the NT Thunder. Going back, more than a dozen years now. It's a kick inside the forward 50 for the Saints. Sweating on this. Worrell pretty keen to try and rush it through. Wood lets him go. Says all clear.
Might have been a player called Andrew McLeod playing for him in that game.
Is that right?
I think.
Famous Andrew McLeod. What a fantastic player he is, bringing back all those memories of your dual premierships.
I said 23 was a pretty famous number.
Famous number. Just trying to work out whether 23 or 32 is the most famous Crows number. I won't go into that debate with you, Ron.
It's interesting, mate. It's 28 years this year, so there you go, kids. One to ask mum and dad about. The first year that the Crows won the flag. Of course, these two teams played the last game of that season. Memorable grand final. The Crows coming from behind to win it against St Kilda. And now they open their season against one another all these years on. The Crows have added one more flag. Played in another grand final, of course, in 2017. Haven't been back since. And at that stage, St Kilda fans, just quietly, it was 31 years, the premiership drought back in 1997.
Yeah, too long between drinks for both clubs.
The Saints actually wore a very similar jumper that day, the hot cross bum jumper with the, and you see them rolling again today. A little more red on the back of this. That's it, isn't it? The big cross down the middle.
It's not far from Easter. They'll be around shortly.
Here's Wilson. Feeds a hand pass back for the Saints, trying to set something up through McRae. Socket off the deck by Scholl. You hear the call from the umpire. Wants him to keep going. Caminiti got it out. Now Crouch to Scholl to Worrell.
Caminiti might have dislocated a finger.
Keep an eye on him. Here's Curtin. Bursts his way through. Slips the O'Connell tackle. Handball to Dawson. Short kick. Finds Neil Bullen. Turns. Looks inside 50. Keys marks. And look how open that forward 50 is with a quick ball movement of the Crows.
Yeah, great dart from Neil Bullen. It's going to be such a good player for the Crows.
There's good work done by Daniel Curtin as well to set that up. Just with Tex Walker out of the side, subbed out. He's got a little bit more of a chance to show what he can do in the forward line. He's a big lump of a lad. Curtin standing at 197 centimetres, so 6'5" in the old scale.
Jordan Dawson, he's got a couple already. From right on the 50-metre arc, it starts left and stays out there.
It's not like him.
Come off the toe, didn't it?
Yep. He's probably, last time he miscued a kick when he was 12 years old.
Mention off the top of the broadcast, the Crows have been slow starters in recent years, losing their first 4 games last year, their first 2 in the 2 years before that. So it'll be their first opening game win since 2021. It's the second time they've won their first start under Matty Nix. Now, of course, in year 6. On tackle as Higgins, a little reckless on Michael Annie.
And a bit of cramp.
Well, pickle juice sales would be high, wouldn't they, for the last couple of weeks, Jared?
Well, it seems like it's everybody's go-to.
Great handball again. Saligo sets Rankin freeze. He goes running down to half forward. Looks for Fogarty. Back with the fight. He's got it again. Close to goal.
What were we consuming before pickle juice was a product?
Well, pickle juice is a funny one. It's most of the guys spit it out. I reckon it's. We're talking about it in radio during the week that The believed mechanism, although it hasn't been proved scientifically, is it triggers a nerve in the back of the throat, which then triggers another nerve, which releases the nerves that are overfiring. Gee, it was a big radio session.
Fogarty, he's got 4. And the three-headed monster have 7 between them. 4 for Fogarty, 2 for Thilthorpe, 1 for Walker. He was subbed out in that third quarter. And the Shield final might not be here, but the Crows have kicked a cricket score this afternoon.
Yeah, 20 goals now for Adelaide. That's a good score. 20 goals, 9, so good kicking as well in windy conditions. That's very good accuracy. Probably a bit of a reflection of the opposition and where the forwards have marked it as well, but they've kicked some good goals today.
Just getting back to the pickle juice.
Yes, you didn't tell us enough about it before.
Well, if you read it, you're supposed to swallow it because it's got sodium and potassium and all of those things, but it takes a long time for that to work, and normally that thing is like a rehydrator, so that's why you see people spitting it out, which gets curators upset because it burns the grass.
You have done your homework.
Oh, it was a big subject during the week.
And so researchers, not just a suburb in Melbourne, all over it. Jared Healy is Miller pushes a hand pass out wide. To O'Brien, squeezes the kick forward. Saints win it back. Sinclair, hand pass to Jones. Final 5 minutes. The season opener for both clubs, and already one eye on next week. Saturday night, Marvel Stadium against the Cats, so it doesn't get any easier for St Kilda, another team that looked red hot week 1. And the Bombers in an intriguing matchup on the road for the Crows.
Inside.
Cordy thrown forward. Caminiti down back. Knocked down to Worrell, and he's knotted up straight away.
Is that more cramp, hopefully?
Hopefully it's cramp. Looks like cramp.
You better swallow the pickle juice and not spit it out then, Jared.
Yeah, well, it's yet to be proven scientifically, Bruce, so we'll just, everybody believes in it.
A fair run for something that's not proven.
Inside again.
Burns hooks the ball across the body. That's a pretty good kick, clips the post. What do you make of the broader conversation around professionalism and everything else that goes into it compared to just, look, it's just round 1, it happens all the time. Where do you sit on that spectrum?
On cramp?
Yeah.
Well, I think the bottom line is no matter how hard you work, and everybody works hard, and guys flog themselves, like no one works harder than Nick Dacos, and he obviously got his preparation wrong, might have had an issue with his foot pre-season. I think it indicates just how hard it is to replicate training.
Yep.
Sorry, replicate what you do on game day in training. And particularly when you're in heat, it's extraordinary, the tax. And what's really amazing is how quickly the body adapts. You don't see cramp in round 3.
McRae forces the front half turnover, kicks in the Cordy direction. Good work, Worrell. Knocks it down in front of Keane. He goes to ground. Cordy trying to hold it in. Gives him plenty of time. Keane gets it out to Neil Bullen. Jordan Dawson, he kicks wide and tumbles just past shoulder.
And the game slows down a bit, Jared.
Indeed. Yeah, well, it's junk time now.
Guys, we're talking about short preparation. Ron Marshall's just made his way to the bench and he just put some ice on his knee there. So, make of that what you will.
Well, he got that knock early in the game, bro, that you pointed out too, so it's probably a fresh one.
Yeah, well, it was the hip, wasn't it, that he had the problem with?
It was the hip, was it? Might have been the old injury.
Yeah, that was what he was sore before round 1.
Here's Draper. Pick 4, Adelaide's first selection in last year's national draft, subbed in that third quarter. A couple of involvements. Keys to Michael Lanny. Now down to half forward for Fogarty. He loads up, kicks it deep. Dangerous Rankin down there. Ball hits the deck. Webster got a problem, tries to hand it out to Caminiti. Thilthorpe gets a play on it, kicks it. He's got 3, and the party is indeed on for Adelaide.
He's unbelievable unit, this big unit. He's going to be tough. He's going to maul some teams. Big ground ball. He just burst through that tackle. Good combination. You got Rankin and you got Thilthorpe. 2 top-end talents, 2 very high draft picks. And 2 blokes super dangerous near goal. It's a bad double to be come up against.
To see Rankin there slap his hand away, that was pretty clever to drop the ball. But when Kilthorpe's in that forward line, you know that Fogarty, Walker, Curtin, whoever, or Dawson, the other forwards are going to get lesser quality players.
She walks not to love today from an Adelaide point of view. There's so many contributors across the board. 6 multiple goal kickers, 11 hit the scoreboard. And then 3 each for Kilthorpe and Fogarty up front. They get to put Taylor Walker away early and save his legs at 34. Just about every player across the line has had some kind of involvement and contribution today. Messiah Wanganeen-Malera, who came off earlier in the quarter with the cramp, hangs a handball out. Windhager can't collect it. Neil Bullen, oh, he's caught, holding the ball. Garcia.
Looks like Wanganeen-Miller is going to come off again. I think he looks a bit sore with that cramp. I'd get him off and protect him. Too valuable.
Turns it over. Mark not quite completed by Cumming. There's Keys out to Peatline, who kicks off the back flank. A couple of Saints there, and Caminiti keeps it in the front half.
I'm back for you, Jared.
Yeah, good to see. It's something that I think we needed to see at some stage. I'd like to see him be given a decent run there.
Max King a chance next week? Shouldn't be too far away.
I think I had a chat to Ross Lyon during the week, and he was pretty hopeful that he was going to be available. Coming back from a bit of exploratory surgery where they trimmed up a bit of scar tissue and trained, I think, around 80% during the week. So it sounds like he's just about ready to roll.
And maybe Owens next week?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about Owens, but have to be close.
St. Courtney played only 1 game last year after round 7. It was round 14 against the Lions. He was ultimately subbed out there. He started down back today. Premiership Bulldog. Hot minute left. Drop punt.
Okay.
It's good. Through it goes. Some late high fives for St. Courtney.
The only real big man in their back line to start. It looks like they've done a little switch and put Caminiti back and Cordy forward.
Adelaide up to 74 interchange. St Kilda 70.
42,985 the roll-off. Adelaide's first home game the new season, and I'm sure they'll be pretty happy with what they've seen. The home fans, it's turned into a bit of a no-sweat win. They kicked the first 5 goals of the contest, kicked to 7 in the space of 23 minutes in the third quarter. Really, from that point on, they had the game in their keeping. Boyd won the hit out, then Buckley's back in for it. It's Harry Boyd on debut. One of 3 debutants for the Saints. They'll have to wait at least another week for their first win. Of course, Jack McRae, his 250th game, his first though as a Saint. Game 150 for Zach Jones, who started his career with the Swans. And for Adelaide, cue the celebration for them. 3 new faces from other clubs, plus Sid Draper on debut. They'll expect to find themselves in the middle of the circle for the team song. Schoenmaker out on the wing, trying to look for another late one for the Saints. Charging in there is O'Connell on debut. The tunnel ball out the back. Higgins got it away to Wood, to Steele, high up and under inside the attacking arc. Cumming leaps over the back, spills front and centre to Hall, feeds it to Higgins, tumbles it into the post.
Well, that's a great sign from Max Hall, because he could have had a little snap there, but he was thinking team only. Jack didn't get the job done. He could have actually had a shot at goal himself, thinking selfishly, so he'd love to be playing with that young man.
Wayne Miller in his 100th game. Out to halfback. Steele with maybe the last kick of the contest. The Crows win, and win convincingly. And the way they did it will ring bells across the competition. Pay very close attention to Adelaide. 63 points in the finish. 21-9, 135 to St Kilda, 10-12, 72. And in the end, the Crows still win every quarter. They led by 5 goals at quarter time, 37 at the half, 10 goals at three-quarter time, and 63 points in the finish. A big day for the Crows. They start a winner under Matthew Nicks for the first time in 4 years.
Always great to have you, Calvin.
All right, there we go, folks. Adelaide, big winners by 63 points over the Saints. 21 goals, 19, 135, 10, 12, 72. I think both teams will be happy that game has finished, especially St Kilda. They were just plodding along. They were just both plodding along. Formula One update. Lando Norris leads the way. Piastri back into third. Verstappen up into second. There's been an incident on the first lap, so I think they will start the race again. Or a safety car. Safety car has been pulled. So there we go. A little bit slow from Oscar Piastri there, the Aussie boy there, into third, but that's all right. The big worry, maybe Verstappen, he's so good in the wet, but let's hope the McLarens go 1-2. Piastri, let's hope he can get there for the Melbourne Grand Prix that's happening right now. So that's why I won't be covering the next game, Melbourne GWS. I'll be watching the Formula One. Hopefully we'll be back after the F1s for West Coast, Gold Coast game. That should be good. But a big win for Adelaide today. They did it on their ear. 4 goals, 2 they kicked in that final term. 3 goals, 5 the Saints. There you go. Saints have got a lot of soul searching to do before they come out next week and play. Just to round this up, everyone, let's just go and check the goal scorers. Darcy Fogarty with 4 led the way. Riley Thilthorpe with 3, the big man down there for Adelaide. Ranky with 2, Rochelle with 2, Dawson with 2, Cummings with 2. A lot of multiple goal scorers there for Adelaide. And of course, Taylor Walker, Saligo, Peatling, Neil Bullen, Keys. Oh my gosh, it keeps on going, doesn't it? Look at all those goal scorers. Where do we get to? Keys, Matty Crouch with the other single goal scorers for Adelaide. First, St Kilda, Mason Wood, Jack Higgins, Maxie Hall, all kicked 2. And of course, Wanganeen, Brad Hill, Garcia with the other single goal scorers with Cordy, of course. Let's just wrap up with who got the most disposals on the ground. Of course, Jack McRae there for the Saints, top of the table there with 34 disposals, 13 kicks, 21 handballs. Matty Crouch for Adelaide, next best, and best for Adelaide with 31. 8 kicks, 23 handballs. Saligo led, both on 29, Ranky 28. Wanganeen 27. There we go. Let me just scroll down that in case anyone wants to stop that. Check out their player, all their scores. We'll just roll down this a little bit. James Peatling with 19. Garcia with 18 there for the Saints. Who else have we got there? Riley Thilthorpe. 3 goals from 13 possessions, 9 kicks for him. So he did pretty well. Jack Hingis just on 11, bit quiet. 5 kicks though, he did kick 2 goals too. Taylor Walker started off well. I think they might have put him in Cottonmore Lake. 10 disposals, 3 kicks for 1 goal, 7 handballs, 2 marks, 4 tackles. Not too bad from the big man. Let's just quickly look at the, let me just reload, make sure that's correct for everyone out there. There we go, disposal count, look at that, 79 up. Adelaide just crunched St Kilda in that aspect and pretty much all aspects of the game. 37 plus in the kicks, 42 in the handballs. Inside 50s though, surprisingly 59 to 52, only 7 the difference. Yeah, Adelaide makes the most of it. St Kilda, pretty poor. 74% efficiency for the Crows, pretty good. 57 inside 50, not bad. Free kicks, 14 to 15, nothing much going on there. The hit-outs, Adelaide won that pretty comfortably. Clearances, pretty tied up. Centre clearances, though, Adelaide well and truly on top in there. as were the uncontested possessions, up by about 60 on that front for the Crows. The marks 23 up. Also, marks inside 50. Both teams had good numbers there for marks inside 50. Adelaide Crows, of course, doing the better, kicking a lot straighter. And, of course, the tackles, both reasonably good there, 60 and 52. 10 and 11 for inside 50 tackles. It was just a more classier Adelaide today. St Kilda, as we noticed, they were just a little bit flat-footed. It was like they really didn't want to be out there. I don't know. They need to find some fight. They need to dig deep in their souls, find a little bit of heart and spirit, and get back out there ready for the next game. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Tine, for dropping in. Thanks, Mark, and everyone else. Good stuff, everybody. Good stuff. Northern Star backing Piastro to win, or at least top 3. I would think he should run in the top 3. Hopefully, I think this will be the first time an Aussie's been up on the podium, isn't it? If he gets there, so that'll be incredible. All right, there we go. That is today's game. Adelaide versus St Kilda, folks. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. As I said, the next game is Melbourne and GWS Giants. I'm not covering that, though. I'm not covering that. As I said, I'm just going to take an hour or two to watch the Formula One Grand Prix. Cheer on the Aussie, Oscar Piastri. Hopefully he does well. Of course, you've got to love the Formula One Grand Prix as well. As I said, hopefully we'll be back for the West Coast Gold Coast game. I think that's coming up at, let me just double check. I think that's coming up at about 6:10 p.m. Melbourne time. They're playing that over in Perth in Optus Stadium. So that should be a pretty good game over there, I would imagine, too, just as the next Melbourne GWS Giants game should be pretty good. If you're going to listen in to that one somewhere. All right, folks, that's me. I am over and out. Let me just double check the poll for today. We had 78% poll for Adelaide. We got it right again. Tell you what, the folks in the live chat here were pretty switched on with the AFL football. You got it right again. I don't think we've been wrong this year so far. Adelaide Crows, 77%. Well done to everyone. All right, folks. That's me over and out. Ciao for now. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. I'll just leave this on for a couple of minutes in case there's any latecomers who want to come and check out the score and the worm. As you can see on the worm, Adelaide, full control. St Kilda stemmed the tide a little bit just here, kept it rather even. Then Adelaide just put the foot on the gas again and just sort of ran the game out there. So it wasn't too bad at all. All right, folks. We'll see you on the next one. West Coast, Gold Coast in about 3 hours' time. Thanks, folks.